Hello? What is your American dream?
My American dream is that, we have peace and equality for all, that we stop this border walls. Don't build walls, build bridges, as the Pope says, and I go along with what he says, that we open the doors to America, not just to special people.
I'm pursuing my dream that I've always had since I was a child and never could, which is to be a full-time musician. So I am living my dream.
I have my American dream. My father came here with $35 in his pocket. He died a millionaire, so that was my American dream.
My American dream.
Titolato.
My American dream is to bring Little Italy back to what it was and to continue doing what we're doing.
I feel like my American dream is to be able to make art that represents all of America, not just the white middle to upper class America, so that people can see themselves represented and can see themselves as American and feel like everyone has a place here.
Everyone has a right to the American dream.
Groundhog Sam! Oh yeah, the meatball eating contest, that'll be a blast. Oh, hello everybody! I hope you had a great weekend. I sure did. I went with Belgium Kim and Patrice to the Feast of San Gennaro in Little Italy in New York City this weekend. Oh, I had a blast. I made lots of new friends, both human and aquatic, and I got to taste a Zeppeli. Oh my goodness, these are Zeppelis! I think I'm gonna love these even more than I love pretzels, and everyone knows how much Groundhog Sam loves pretzels. Oh, thank you! Oh, this is delicious. We had such a great time. Kim, I want a Bradshaw live fish. Go, come on, come on, I can't do. For you, Sam. Welcome to the Bradshaw Live team, Live Fish. And it's going on until next weekend, so who knows, I might be going back. Anyway, did you miss Friday's episode of Bradshaw Live? Well, in case you did, Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias went out on the street and he tested people's knowledge of who invented it, American-born citizen or immigrant. Who knew American cheese was actually invented by an immigrant? Ha 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 ha. Brad also spoke with investigative journalist Annie Hilton about immigrant rights in the workplace and an article she had written called Dirty Laundry. Again, very, very interesting. What's on today's show? Well, you'll just have to watch and see. Enjoy. I'm wondering if Brad would do this meatball eating contest. That would be awesome. I'm gonna go ask him. Brad!
Welcome, everybody. It's Monday, September 17th. Happy birthday, Dad. It's Dad's birthday today. Papa Harvey.
Happy birthday, Papa.
82 years old.
Wow.
He's not watching. He's out celebrating somewhere. But
Right.
maybe he'll watch the rerun of this and he saw that his son wished him happy birthday. So there you go.
Birthday.
Happy birthday, Papa Harvey, and Belgium Kim and Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias. How are you?
Great. How are you?
How you
doing?
doing? How
Back
you
from the weekend.
doing?
How you doing?
How you
Back from
doing?
the
That's a great
weekend.
Italian, Brad.
Because you were at the San Gennaro fair.
All right.
So you gotta go. Hey, how you doing there?
Had a delightful time at the San Gennaro Festival. I'll stop. I should never do that again.
That's
terrible.
like a French woman trying to do Italian.
That's
It's not working.
That's exactly
It's just
what it
not
was.
working.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, a lot of people think I'm Italian
I could see that.
without knowing
definitely
my
see
name.
that.
Without knowing my name.
I can definitely
Until they
see
know
that.
once they know my name, then they know I'm not Italian. But when they see me eat pizza and meatballs, then they think I'm Italian. But then they don't know my name.
Don't have no Dick Tracy hat on. You'd
Why?
be a rap. A Dick Tracy hat with a trench coat, you'd
Yeah.
definitely be mobster.
That's true.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Especially with the beard today, right?
You could go
What?
start going by Bernstino.
Yeah.
Bernstein.
And then all your friends would call
Bernstino?
you Tino. Yeah.
I just like
your
Tony.
mom friends would go.
You look like Tony.
I look like a Tony.
Like a Tony.
Anthony.
That's your full
As my
government.
mom
That-
calls me,
right.
Anthony.
La mama.
crazy.
That's exactly what she would call you.
She just calls me Brett. So how was San Gennaro? It's good, right? A lot of good food.
Oh, so much
Yes.
good food. I finally got a food assignment, y'all. Woohoo!
Right.
No, it was amazing.
And you want to fish.
We did. We won a real goldfish. He is real. He is still alive.
Where
He
is
made
he?
it.
Who has the fish?
Patrice.
Patrice
has
has
the
the
fish.
fish. Yeah, right.
She adopted the fish to give to her boyfriend, but she said, "Oh, my boyfriend's been wanting fish. All his fish died." And we're like, "Oh, great. Here's the fish." And then about 20 minutes later, Jilly Bean was like, "Wait.
Right.
Should we be giving someone
No.
who all their fish died a new
No.
fish?"
No, because he's going to kill the other fish.
Right.
Well,
Right. This fish is going to last about 3 days, basically, from what
This
I
fish
understand.
should be in the bread Bernstein office.
It should have
So are
been
you-
here in a fish
Yeah.
bowl.
but so does that mean you guys are
We
kind
would've
of come
taken
in on
care of
Saturday?
the
It's part
fish.
of the Brad Squad. I thought that's
It was
what you guys
part
said.
of the crew,
That's
actually.
what y'all said. It's part of the crew.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the riots that'll happen?
Why
in
did you
the
give
day?
our fish away? Who gave you authorization?
That's true.
Right.
That's true.
We didn't sign no
I didn't
papers.
sign no papers to give away my fish.
It's true. Maybe I got too big for my britches. I
All
took an
right,
executive
so,
decision.
all right, so you now got to go back and get a new fish.
That's fine.
Or
I love those little.
go knock on Patrice's boyfriend. What is it? Who's it?
Yeah,
Friend?
her boyfriend.
Her boyfriend.
Yeah. So like, Ricardo, give us our fish
Okay.
back.
So then go knock on his door and say, I want the fish back.
Right.
Tony
Okay.
says so.
If it's not dead by now.
Tony's gonna come pay you a little visit.
Tony said, Tony,
We
yes.
don't get that
Tony
fish
said
back.
Tony wants his fish back. You just tell him that.
Oh, I will.
Just knock on the door and say, hey, Tony wants his fish back.
Tony wants the fish back. Yeah. Before you sleep with the fishes.
Right.
All right. So, by the way, I got to say hello to people,
You
right?
do.
I got to say hello to people.
Yeah.
So, Carol Anderson, the Tiger, Eris B, Deion Watson, how you doing? Oh, I'm out of the picture. Let me go like this.
There you go.
I'm leaning
You
over.
lean back.
I leaned back. I got. You know what? I should pull here. Now I can see better.
Oh my God.
Wait, maybe I should do this.
The
One
iPad
second.
moves.
Yeah. Wait. There we go. How's that?
It's beautiful.
No.
Handsome as can
One
be.
second. Now I can say hello to Tamika, Abigail Taylor Watson, and Denver South says hey Tamika. Malia Lobin Martin says hi Aris. Denver South says hi Dion. Everyone just says hello to each other. I love that.
That's amazing.
I love that. Nobody's. I don't even think they're listening. They're just saying hello to everybody.
each other.
Tamika and Kamisha Theowell, Dane, welcome. And I'm saying not welcome. I'm saying that's the guy's name. Okay.
Oh, so you're not welcoming Dane?
No, I am. His name is Dane Welcome. It's not like I'm saying Dane Welcome. It's Dane Welcome.
He's
Just
not
like-
getting a
just like
personalized.
no,
I
just
see.
right, just Abigail Taylor Watson or anybody else.
Right. I gotcha.
You understand?
I gotcha.
And Lisa Bling Rose popping in. If you wanna, Denisha Castillo. She always says her volume's low, but we always check every day. Is it her?
Is it only her that says
a lot
that?
of times she always says her volume's low, and then we always check it, and then it's fine. And I'm not sure if she's like, got you again, or really, or really, like every day I'm like, oh, Denisha says the volume's low,
is it?
and then we go and check it, and then it's
It's
fine.
fine.
And then I'm like, how many times are we gonna fall for this thing from Denisha?
Every single day.
Every time.
Every single day,
Every
right?
time.
What
Yeah.
happened to my? Oh, there we go. I lost all my. Oh, there we go.
All your peeps?
All my peeps. Yvonne Steele, I got to say hello. Marjorie Thompson, David Gabriel. I lost everybody. I don't know what happened.
Did it refresh? If
No,
it
look what happened. There's
Yeah,
nothing
if
here.
it refreshes sometimes, it will do that where it'll
Oh my
cut
gosh,
off all
I
the
lost all my
comments.
hellos to everybody. Well, Jealous Shauna and everybody else I missed, and on YouTube, Ruthie Cutie, Terry Ann Carby, Ja Love, Dane Williams, Ahmed Memo says hello for everybody. It's my favorite show.
Yeah.
Punchy Queen Bee, hello everyone, and Batter Will says howdy, and Jeff Bosey, starting to watch on YouTube.
Yeah, he's made a
Yeah.
commitment.
What's up with that? Why is he
Bosey.
switching? He says,
Bosey.
I'm on YouTube. Say hello to everybody for me on Facebook.
Whoa.
He made a 1 week on YouTube trial commitment.
And he's liking it.
So far, it
He's
seems like
liking it.
he's been on board.
He's liking it. He
Okay.
says it was a good weekend. I follow him on Facebook. I saw he was out in Montauk.
That's.
I follow him.
You guys are besties.
I don't know if we're besties, but I saw he was out of hot dog, that's for sure. I follow a lot of our squad. I see
That's
a lot
true,
of what
so
our
do I,
squad
yeah.
is doing. I'm just mentioning it because he said I had the best weekend.
Ooh, what do you do?
I don't know what he did. I just saw a picture of him in hot dog. That's all I know.
How come Jeff gets to have the best weekend out of all of us?
So, and Nisha Thomas and Andreen Spence says hello as well. And Yonathan, how was your weekend? We heard Belgium Kim went to the San Gennaro, and we'll actually see some Belgium Kim at San Gennaro later on in the show. And you want to know why she got that? Because she complains a lot.
They
Yeah.
do.
She's a big complainer.
Closed mouths don't get
Okay.
fed.
Squeaky
Now it's
wheel.
fed.
Just
She is a huge complainer.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm always the one in the street trying to flag people down, arguing with people to come on camera.
That's
And
true.
Yonathan stuffing his face on the 7 train. Why doesn't Yonathan go and try to flag some people down?
Yep.
And I eat once in my life.
Right.
That is how I felt.
That's how she felt.
That is how I felt.
And we had to actually, she sent me an email. I don't know if you know this or not. She sent me an email and she said, I'd like to have some time to talk with you, Brad.
Oh, whoa.
And I was like, oh my God, I didn't know what the issue was. Like,
Because it was very formal.
Yeah,
It was a
yeah,
formal
right. So when you
approach.
get those formal emails, Jonathan,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, I'm quitting, I'm giving my, I'm like,
Right,
and I'm
something
like,
serious.
Yeah, it's like serious thing, So I'm like, I'm holding on, and I'm like, uh-oh. And she goes, when am I going to get an eating assignment? And I go, this is what you had the entire, this is why you stopped my entire day?
Right.
It's a huge deal, Brad.
All right,
It's
so
a huge deal.
So the next eating assignment, you were slated. We have a big board in our Brad
gets what?
Show Live crew room. We call it the crew room.
The crew room,
Okay,
yeah.
so in the crew room, we have a big board on who gets what and where. And there was we have everyone's headshots.
I was
So we
blocked.
so we have the headshot of Yonathan San Gennaro. And I walked in. I want you to know something, okay? And don't be mad.
I won't
Okay, but I walked in, and there was your headshot on the San Gennaro board, and I said, Kim, watch this. And I took the pin out and I ripped up your picture.
Yep.
Wow.
He did.
And I said, he's not going.
He did.
So aggressive.
I was very aggressive,
Yeah.
and I took Kim's picture.
It's true.
And I put it up, and I went like this, boom, with the pin.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to do it, but I pinned her right between
Yeah.
the eyes.
Right into- it was graphic, Jonathan. It was
Very
graphic.
Gracious.
And then I said, now, can you not bother me ever again about which assignments you're getting?
I will still 100% be bothering you. Look how fine it worked, Brad. I got to stuff my face all weekend.
And Carol Anderson, the Tiger, I knew I was going to get a shaving situation here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Okay, I knew I was going to get a shaving situation.
So we're still Lumberjack Brad.
I am Lumberjack Brad. I'll be shaving in a few days, I promise.
A few days.
A few days. It may take a few days.
Woo.
It
You'll
may
have
take.
a full-on beard by then.
You
Yeah.
already have a full-on beard right
I'm
now.
talking about like hang time.
I'm here.
Like hang time?
Yeah.
Oh, like you're like.
Yeah.
Like you
Like
can
a
like
true
strap me
lumberjack.
up. You can like.
Try it.
Can you like? Should I go like long enough? Like you can put like a rubber band, like
Yeah.
a really strong rubber
Yeah, I
band,
think you should
and then
try
like
it.
you can hang me and like I'll be like.
Like
Oh,
beardaments. I want it long enough for beardaments. You remember that?
Oh, that's like you put like the Christmas stuff.
the little
on it?
Christmas ornaments.
gosh.
We still have them from last Christmas, just so you know.
Just in case.
Just in case you
Just
decide
in
to go
case.
full lumberjack.
Just in case. No, I'm not going full lumberjack, not just yet. By the way, Belgium Kim
Mm-hmm.
and Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias, it is Constitution Day today.
Oh, that's right.
It is Constitution Day. Reminds me of when I was in college.
Uh-huh.
And I had a roommate. I don't want to call his name out. I had several roommates. I had 7 or 8 roommates.
Okay.
But my first year in college, they set you up with a roommate. You're like, you don't know who you're going to get, right? So you're just in the dorm room with the guy. Okay? And on our door, okay,
Yeah.
he hung up the biggest poster of the United States Constitution. I am not kidding. From the top of the door all the way to like a life-size, like it was taller than me. Not that I'm the tallest guy, like a life-size Constitution. So I would go in, I'm like, hey, dude, listen, I'm 18 years old. I'm not a lawyer
Right.
yet. I don't even know if
Right.
I'm going to be a lawyer. Do we need the entire Constitution?
Right.
Pinned? It's not like a good look.
No.
And all my
Real
friends would come
nerdy.
by. Yeah, and all my friends would come by like, What's up, Constitution boy? So
That's hilarious.
for 1 year, I was Constitution boy. I'm like, it's not my
And it's
freaking,
not even
it's not my
yours.
Constitution.
Right.
The guy won't take it down. And then finally, you know, we went out drinking one night, and he wasn't there, and I apologize. Okay, you know, so you know, unlike Judge Kavanaugh, like when he goes drinking, he likes to go rape women.
Make terrible
You know
decisions,
what
right.
we did, but most terrible thing I did when we went out drinking is I came back with my friends and we ripped down.
Oh,
I ripped it down, and I felt bad because he came back. He was away for the weekend, and he came back. I go, I don't know.
What do you mean?
You don't
Was it just y'all two in
I
that
don't know.
place?
Well, no, it's a whole dorm. It could have been anybody who ripped it down on the tile
okay.
floor, but it was me.
Damn, how about if he's watching
It
right
was,
now?
if he's watching, I apologize. It was 35 years later.
Is
I
this
ripped
the first
down.
time you've copped
It's the
to
first
it?
time I've ever copped to it. But I'm like, I can't live as an 18-year-old college student with the Constitution on the front of the door.
It's not sexy.
It's just not sexy. Exactly. It just doesn't. You know what? It doesn't reek. Oh wow! I want to hang out in this guy's room.
Oh yeah. Oh
I
wow.
was like, people were running from me.
Are you kidding? See, you should have used that as the hook, Brad. Hey, you want to come see my ginormous poster at the Constitution?
Constitution, exactly.
It's
thanks.
huge.
Right, well, meanwhile, it is Constitution Day. It is Constitution
And that's how
Day.
you get the ladies.
Yes, and let's see, what does it say about Constitution Day on here?
Your former roommate should know.
I'm getting a telephone call right now from
It's
him.
probably him.
It's probably him.
Abigail
He-
said, Brad, you were a bad roommate.
I was a man, yeah. You know, when you're being called Constitution boy by your friends and
Yeah.
it's not your Constitution, you had to take
I would've
matters
did
into
the
your own
same
hands,
thing. I
right?
would've did the
Would you
same
have done
thing.
the same thing?
Absolutely.
Like if you were starting, everyone started calling you Constitution boy.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, that Constitution's coming down.
Such a lame insult, though. Constitution boy? What the hell?
nerd.
That's such an 18-year-old boy,
Right,
like,
exactly.
stupid. Oh, Constitution boy
I'll
over
tell you
here.
a true story. I'm not making
No,
stuff up. I'm telling you a true
obviously, I
story.
know. You would be way more creative than
Yes,
Constitution boy.
exactly. So, Constitution Day and Citizenship Day is today. I do have to tell you, in all seriousness, it's an American federal observance that commemorates the adoption of the Constitution of the United States and those who have become U.S. citizens. I don't remember if I pulled it down on Constitution Day. It was more winterish.
Oh, okay.
You know, probably closer to George Washington Day. I think I pulled it
I
down.
was going to say,
That's a
that
good
would have been
holiday.
particularly cold
Yeah.
to pull it down on Constitution
Yes.
Day.
And under the 14th Amendment of the United States Constitution, Belgium Kim,
Yeah.
citizenship is defined as all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction are citizens of the United States and of the state where they reside. So while the 14th Amendment was the first step in a long line of amendments defining citizens and their rights, it took decades to enforce some. We're still enforcing some of those rights today.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Awesome.
So you can observe Constitution Day by either tagging my roommate and going, ha ha ha, or using hashtag Constitution Day or Citizenship Day to post on social media. It actually became a holiday in 1940. President Roosevelt declared I'm an American Day, and Congress designated the third Sunday in May to celebrate it. But by 1949, the governors of all 48 states had issued Constitution Day proclamations. By 52, Congress changed the name from I Am an American Day to Citizenship Day and moved the observance to September 17th. There you have it.
Nice.
I love that.
Meanwhile, on Citizenship and Constitution Day, Florence is wreaking havoc
Yes.
in North Carolina. At least 23 people have unfortunately died
Sheesh.
in storm-related incidents, including a man and woman in Horry County, South Carolina, who died from carbon monoxide poisoning.
Wow.
523 homes are still without power.
Sheesh.
And it's still a massive storm, still wreaking havoc. And as a matter of fact, many of the mayors and counties in North Carolina are saying the worst is yet to come
Yeah.
from
What?
all of the flooding and the rivers. It's not, in all these hurricanes, it's not the wind. It's the flooding that occurs after.
Yep.
Especially if you're in low countries or you live near the water or near the river. It's the flooding that you know, really causes, destroys things and
yeah.
kills people, believe it or not.
Wow.
And that
my
is not
God.
the strongest. That is not the strongest storm of the day. the strongest storm of the day.
Yep.
Seashells by the seashore. The strongest storm of the day is in the Philippines.
Yeah.
We have a lot of viewers in the Philippines and China. Not so many. I don't think anyone watches us in China because I don't think the Chinese government allows this show in China. But they had winds of up to 190 miles an hour. A typhoon that is the largest storm of 2018. And it brushed Hong Kong, more than 100 people injured. In Hong Kong, 64 people died. In the Philippines, basically from landslides and mudslides. You know, people whose homes were further down the mountain as they didn't heed the warnings to leave, and got unfortunately killed, buried alive in mudslides and flooding. As a matter of fact, I saw a video. I don't know if we have the video or even a picture of it, of the Sheraton in Hong Kong that's on the ocean. The water came up, there it is, came through the hotel. This is the Sheraton Hotel. This is not a flimsy, Joe's,
not a small village.
No, this is not like Joe's Clam Shack Hotel.
Right.
In the middle of nowhere. This is the Sheraton in Hong Kong. Okay? Right. This is like a place that, you would think the Sheraton's going to survive.
Right, absolutely.
Okay? And the Sheraton Hotel in Hong Kong is now destroyed. Water came flying through the windows there, and people had to evacuate from there as well. Meanwhile, back here in the United States of America, on the border, Juan David Ortiz was arrested. He is a serial killer. He is also a Border Patrol agent.
What?
Ortiz worked for the Border Patrol, arresting immigrants as they were trying to run across the border during the day. And in the evening, he was hunting prostitutes, both male and female prostitutes, and killing them.
Wow.
And he is a Navy veteran. He confessed to killing at least 4 women, perhaps more, and 1 male prostitute as well. Ortiz was charged with second-degree aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. I don't know if these women were immigrants or they were Americans. I'm not sure who the actual victims were, but according to the news, they were prostitutes that he was calling.
And they haven't released the names.
And he was doing this while he was off duty. So while on duty, he was rounding up immigrants running across the border. Off duty, he was murdering prostitutes. 2 of the victims were identified as Melissa Ramirez and Claudine Ann Laura. A 5th victim was able to escape from Ortiz and said and said he took her to his house and began to act weird when she started to talk about one of the other women whose body had been found the week before. So she said, "Hey, I'm a prostitute.
Right.
And wait a second.
And you're being weird.
You're being weird, and I know there's a killer out there."
Right.
So when the pair left his house in the pickup truck and stopped at a gas station, she again brought up the woman who had been killed, and that's when Ortiz pulled out a black pistol and pointed it at her.
Oh,
whoa.
snap.
Yeah, he tried to prevent her from exiting the truck, grabbing her shirt, but the woman pulled the shirt off and ran away from the moving vehicle toward a state trooper. About an hour later, state troopers located the truck, tried to question Ortiz, who ran into a multi-level hotel parking garage, and he was eventually found hiding in the back of his truck. Prosecutors said that the woman escaped. Ortiz, a married man with children. He's a married man with children, this guy. And
you just never know.
He joined Customs and Border Patrol in 2008 amid a relaxation of hiring standards aimed at boosting numbers of agents on the border.
There it is.
They are now hiring serial killers.
Right. And they have
He
no
is the
idea.
second Border Patrol agent from Laredo, Texas, by the way, to be accused of multiple murders this year.
This year?
Seems to be that Border Patrol seems to have a lot of serial killers. I'm not saying all of them, but we have at least 2.
In one branch.
In one branch. Ronald Burgess Aviles, a 28-year-old Border Patrol agent, was arrested in April on 2 counts of murder after reporting that he found the bodies of his girlfriend and their son near a park in South Texas.
Oh my God.
And then he was eventually charged with killing the girlfriend and the son.
Wow.
Pure evil.
Yes.
Absolute evil.
Meanwhile, you saw Brett Kavanaugh. He is
Yeah.
now accused of sexual abuse by Dr. Christine Blasey Ford, who said that when she was in high school with him, when they were seniors in high school,
Yeah.
she was at a party. They both went to prestigious private schools, privileged schools. Dr. Christine Ford went to an all-girls school, and Brett Kavanaugh, the potential Supreme Court justice, went to an all-boys school, and I guess they had a mixer at some point. And according to her accusation, he was drunk, pulled her into a room with another boy, turned up the music very, very loud,
Sheesh.
covered his hand over her mouth, tried to rip off her shirt, and tried to forcibly have sex with her.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Now, this happened a long time ago. However, in 2012, I guess this has haunted her, this rape or potential rape has haunted her, that she went to therapy with her husband. They were having problems, and the problems stemmed from this incident,
Oh
apparently.
my God.
And the doctor, well before Brett Kavanaugh ever came into any of the
The
news,
public sphere, yeah.
sphere, documented that she accused this man of doing this. Now, this accusation happened even though it just recently came out, in a doctor's psychology report 7-8 years ago, well before he became a household name, before anybody knew that he potentially could be a Supreme Court justice. And she then took a lie detector test with the FBI, passed that as well. Now, the Democrats were holding this information to the end. Obviously, it was very political.
Right.
And right before the vote, they pulled it out to try to delay the vote and cause the biggest, potential monkey wrench into his confirmation. There's Dianne Feinstein, who was holding the letter.
Yeah.
Obviously, it was done at the right political moment to help the Democrats. Nobody's saying it. And we know that because as soon, and the Republicans knew this happened too.
Yeah.
And they're complicit because they didn't say a word.
Wow.
Not one Republican said a word. You want to know why they were complicit and they knew about it? Because as soon as Dianne Feinstein released this information about this accusation on Brett Kavanaugh, miraculously, 30 minutes later, a letter circulated on the internet signed by 60 people that went to school with Brett Kavanaugh saying they never saw any of this happen. All women.
Ooh.
How did this letter come up within 30 minutes as a counter attack to this accusation if the Republicans didn't know this was going to happen?
And
then how would all of these women know about his character if he went to an all-male school? Okay, how would they know that?
Dang.
Okay, so now, simultaneous to that, several hours later, 200 women who went to school with the accuser, Christine Blasey Ford, came out with a letter saying they believe this happened from their either their knowledge of Christine or their remembrance of events and discussions back in the day in the 1980s.
Wow.
Including on that letter was Elaine from Seinfeld, Julia Louis-Dreyfus,
Oh my
who
God.
graduated high school with the accuser, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford. And Elaine, here she is, she was one of the signatures on the letter saying she believes this accusation as well. So now, there's been calls for delaying the Senate vote on Judge Kavanaugh. Now, some Republicans said, wait a second, this happened 30 years ago. So what? And so what? Do I want, or does any American want, a Supreme Court justice who potentially was a rapist at 17 or 27 or 37? It doesn't matter. If he had an inclination to do this and actually did this, is this the person that you want determining your rights and how you're going to live in America for the rest of your life? Because at 17, you know what you're doing. At 17, guess what? You get tried as an adult.
Yeah.
You don't get tried as a juvenile at 17. So Senator Susan Collins, a Republican of Maine, tweeted that both Professor Ford and Judge Kavanaugh are both going to testify before the Judiciary Committee. It's going to be a replay of Anita Hill and Clarence Thomas from 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Now, it'd be very interesting to see. Whether or not America has changed. If you remember Clarence Thomas and Anita Hill was a black woman who accused Clarence Thomas, who's now a sitting Supreme Court justice, who is a black man, of sexually harassing and sexually abusing her in the workplace. In 1990 or 1992, whenever it was during the first Bush administration. I don't know the exact year. I don't remember off the top of my head. But I remember it was Anita Hill, who was a black woman, sitting before 11 white old men.
Yeah.
And they were talking to her like they didn't believe her. They were talking to her down. They didn't give her the respect.
Wow.
So I'm curious now. I am curious now whether or not we will see a change. And, Anita Hill not only was facing down 11 men, but facing down 11 old white men as a black female.
Right.
In 1991. I just got it in my ear.
Yeah.
Okay, now we have two privileged people who went to high-end private schools, but still a woman standing up saying, this man did this to me. It changed my life. It changed my life to such an extent. It was such a horrific event in my life that in 2012, 25 years later, I was in therapy about it with my husband.
And that's exactly why that Anita Hill example is a great reason. A lot of people are wondering why hasn't she come forward earlier. That's exactly why, is because the default is that you're not really going to be believed or you're going to be talked down to, because that's what history has shown us.
Yeah, so I don't know what the statute of limitations is in Maryland. I don't know if there still can be criminal charges brought up against him. I don't know what that is. Jill says she thinks so, but I will not go on the record and say absolutely because I don't know. Meanwhile, Donald Trump is remaining silent so far on this, hasn't said a word, because he himself is a sex abuser, self-proclaimed sex abuser who likes to grab women by the hoo-ha.
Nice.
And America voted him into office. Now, the difference between Trump and Kavanaugh is that there was never a woman that came out and said that Donald Trump, that I remember, that Donald Trump forced himself and raped her. Okay? Donald Trump said, in his own words, I would do it.
Right.
But you never heard from a woman
that he actually did
it, and then it was all put aside as locker room talk. He doesn't really do that thing.
Oh, please.
Okay. Now, there are women who came out and said they had consensual sexual relationship with Donald Trump, Stormy Daniels, and the other Playboy playmate. What are you talking about?
How do you do consensual?
Karen McDougal.
Well,
okay, what?
Any kind of sex
with Stormy with Donald Trump. I thought you were talking about Stormy Daniels.
No.
No?
That's
Trump.
fine. Yeah.
When you say consensual, like how?
Right. So, but here, in this situation, if there's a difference, it's you have an accuser who's not saying I had consensual sex with Brett Kavanaugh. I was in a situation where Brett Kavanaugh, a potential Supreme Court justice, as a 17-year-old senior in high school who would be tried as an adult in any court of law, almost raped me, or potentially raped me, or maybe even did rape me. We don't know her whole testimony yet. That's the difference.
Yeah.
I would assume that if somebody came out and said, Stormy Daniels came out and said, Donald Trump raped me, it would be a different situation than Donald Trump had consensual sex with me.
But there were women that have accused Donald Trump of assault. Like there was one woman who had talked about how he had groped her on an airplane. Another woman who said that he stuck his hand up her skirt. Like that has happened.
But that wasn't why then. I don't remember those people, but I'm not saying it didn't happen.
No.
But it didn't resonate with
Exactly.
the media.
And that's
Why
something
did it not? Because I'm thinking I'm saying something really smart here, but maybe I'm saying something really dumb.
No, I don't think it's dumb. I think that I think it's a perfect example that we don't talk about it. I think it wasn't really talked about. There were 12 women.
There were 12 women who said
who have 16 women who have all alleged somewhere beyond sexual, like verbal sexual harassment, all the way to sexual assault, physical touching, groping. Yeah.
Huh.
So hopefully, I hope that a different thing happens with Kavanaugh than with Donald Trump.
That man, you can't touch him for nothing.
No, he is Teflon.
A 50-foot pole, you can't touch him for nothing. That's the only thing. I mean, that's the difference between them.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Donald Trump Jr., who is basically pea brain, has the size of a pea brain, shared a crayon-written post mocking the sexual assault allegation against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. It says, "Oh boy, the Dems and their usual nonsense games really have him on the ropes now." He said Senator Dianne Feinstein had the letter from Kavanaugh's accuser in July and saved it for the eve of the vote. Trump Jr. then shared what he said was a copy of the letter for full transparency. And it says, "Hi, Cindy, will you be my girlfriend? Love, Brett."
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Meanwhile, the pal, this is interesting too. The pal of Judge Kavanaugh, Mark Judge, believe it or not, that's his name.
His name is Mark Judge.
Mark Judge. Okay. He was identified, this guy here was identified by the accuser as also being in the room with Brett Kavanaugh, and she said that this guy tackled Brett Kavanaugh and took him off of her, but for him, she would have been raped.
Wow.
Now, this guy says that's not true, it never happened. However, in 1997, 20 years ago, Mark Judge, that guy, wrote a book called Wasted, Tales of a Generation X Drunk, in which he recalled that he and his friends would go get drunk and then try to hit on women and force themselves on women. Now, Kavanaugh was never specifically mentioned in the book, but he recites some Irish Catholic surnames in his elementary school, such as O'Neill, Murphy, and Kavanaugh. Judge's book changes the name of the high school to Loyola Prep from the school that they went to. A girl at a party wrote Judge and asked him, "Do you know Brett Kavanaugh? I heard he puked in someone's car the other night." Judge responds, "Yeah, he passed out on his way back from a party." That was the only mention of a Kavanaugh in the book. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, Belgium Kim and Yonathan Yo-Yo Elias, I gotta tell people, L'Shana Tova, tomorrow is Yom Kippur.
Yep.
So we will have no show tomorrow, and I will have no show on Wednesday, as you don't really celebrate Yom Kippur.
Right.
You
ruminate.
I don't know. It's no celebration. Okay, let me tell you that right now. But so there will be no show.
It's the best advertisement for Jewishness ever.
Right. You don't want to be a Jew in the okay? Like if you have the potential to renounce your Judaism for 20, this is a good time to do it.
These 48 hours.
It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's a horrible holiday.
Now I'm very ignorant on this. How does one celebrate?
It's not a celebration.
Right. How does one honor?
It's not even honoring.
Okay.
It's you fast.
Ooh.
You don't eat. You don't eat, and you are supposed to be in synagogue, praying for forgiveness for all of your sins for the prior year.
Okay.
And then asking God at the end, after He forgives you for your sins, to write you into the book of life like God is sitting there with a book somewhere.
Right.
Okay. And
At a really big table.
Right, at a really big table, writing your
Right.
name down. Like, okay, you'll live for the next
Yeah.
year. That's
Right.
basically it.
So and it's just the signature for the year then.
Yes, that good health, and you got life for the next year.
Yeah, okay.
And if he doesn't write,
like,
and
I'm good.
then if you die during this year,
Yeah.
you only find out when you
After you die?
After you die, that God damn it, he didn't write me in the
He didn't
goddamn
write-
book.
Hell of a gamble every
He
year.
didn't put me in the book. He
Damn.
didn't put me in that book. Now I'm dead.
You should have fasted. You should
I
have
should have
fasted.
fasted, right?
See?
So to make sure that we preserve your eternal soul.
Yes.
Fair. Okay.
Right.
Got it.
So,
Got it.
So it's no celebration. To
Right,
it.
right.
No, that is
No,
not. That
no.
is not.
Also, I do want to say.
So it's kind of like sacrilegious. That's why you'll never see Jews ever work. It's almost the only holiday you'll never see them work on, because it's almost sacrilegious that if you work, like, oh, God sees you working and not praying to him, he's going to get you.
Gotcha.
Ooh.
He's going to
Okay.
get you.
Gonna get
He's
ya.
gonna get you.
Right.
I like
And
that.
you don't want God
Right.
to get you.
You don't want God to
Of
get
all
you.
the-
So that's why you never see, even non-religious Jews
We'll take.
will take the day off.
Okay.
So because they probably believe just a little bit,
Just
know.
enough.
Just
that it's
enough
like,
to
I'm
say,
not taking the risk.
no risk.
Even if I'm just
real.
home watching
Even if I
Netflix.
sit home and watch TV, I'm not working.
I definitely wouldn't take that.
I
risk.
can pray and Netflix at the same time. I can't
Exactly.
pray and work at the same time.
I do want to say, Tamika Nelson did mention that there was a huge earthquake in certain parts of Jamaica. It was a 4.6
When?
this weekend. So
We did not know that.
Yes, we didn't. So I do want to
Right.
say
Thank
everybody
you.
out there that is watching in Jamaica, I hope you guys are safe as
Thank
well.
you.
Yeah.
And thank you very much
Yeah.
for. I didn't know that, and that's why we like the squad, because they fill us in when we
Gotta
don't
pull
know.
us in,
Exactly.
Yeah.
We don't even know. So, is Jamaica known for earthquakes? They don't.
No,
have,
I know. That's why I think.
Yeah, I don't think they get a lot of
right.
earthquakes in
And somebody
Jamaica.
also said that there was a couple earthquakes around like the country.
But
and
I would,
stuff,
I
so-
would think it's scary because maybe not all the buildings, especially in the countryside,
Are earthquake, yeah.
are certainly earthquake. I would doubt are
Exactly.
earthquake
Yeah.
ready.
Exactly.
And so it could be scary there in Jamaica.
Well, it's really interesting too, because Trinidad and Tobago just recently had an earthquake a couple weeks ago, and
Really?
we talked about. Yeah.
They come in waves, earthquakes, by
They
the
do.
way.
It's the movement of the
Yeah,
tectonic
right, and then-
plates.
right,
They
and-
slip.
Right, and then it moves the next one. It's kind of like a jigsaw
Yeah,
puzzle.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Right? So I just wanted to let everyone know, so there won't be a show tomorrow and Wednesday. What we are going to do is pop up tomorrow.
Yes.
So we will be popping up sometime prior to sundown. Because at sundown, Brad can't work no more. Okay,
Yes.
so we are going to pop up sometime prior to sundown. Our pop-ups are only on YouTube. So if you want to watch our pop-up tomorrow, make sure you subscribe to us on our YouTube channel at Brad Show Live. And it's always good to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel, even if you're watching us on Facebook, because sometimes, like Denisha, you get low volume. You can switch over to YouTube, which is always, in my opinion, a better viewing experience than Facebook at this moment.
Definitely more dependable.
It's much more dependable.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So please subscribe to us at Bradshaw Live. It will be the only way that you know that we are going to pop up, because you get a notification. Otherwise, you would not know. Also, please, how are we doing on our shares? We didn't even talk about sharing today.
Well, we haven't talked about it, and it shows in our shares, Brad.
Really?
We have a total of, hold on, I'm going to give you the
I
latest
see
number.
Grandma said 44.
44 shares.
44 shares.
44
Yeah.
shares. I'm not
sad.
changing my name for 44 shares.
That's it. No, we're not even changing it. No,
not
no, that was a
even, no.
one-time event.
That was, thank
Yes,
God.
that was a one-time
Dodged
event.
that bullet.
Right. All right, so why don't you ask everybody to share, even though we don't have a game? Just do it. Like, give them like some guilt.
Oh.
Oh.
Give them some guilt.
Let's see
All right.
this.
Let's give them your best guilt.
You guys.
Guilt them into it.
You guys, we work so hard every single day to bring you the best show we can possibly bring you, and you love it. You love us. You tell us all the time. It's the best show. It's your favorite show. Brad's out here giving free immigration advice from one of the best attorneys in the world. And what are you doing? You need to share. That's all we ask in return. It's a small favor. Don't you think it's a small ask?
It doesn't even hurt to share. It doesn't
doesn't.
cost you any money.
No, it doesn't take any time. You can keep watching the show. Facebook won't even take you off the page. I see no reasons why not to share with people who need the advice.
That
You
part.
know people who need this advice. You
And
know.
it gives you an even better show because if you share, then more people will call in and ask questions. Come on, guys.
And then we get
It's a win-win.
energized. We see
It's a
all the
win-win
people.
situation.
And how about this? We give you our love every day.
Yes.
Every
Undying.
day we give you our undying love. We sacrifice everything in the world for you. Everything we do is for you.
Yes.
I change my life for you. Belgium Kim changes her life. We work 15 hours a day for you. And we literally sacrifice. I don't see my family as much for you. All I ask you to do is share back. Can't you show some love back? Don't be so selfish. How's that for guilt?
Yeah, that was
man.
really good.
Is that good guilt?
Not when you smile after.
I know, because I couldn't hold it
You
in
just
any
ruined
longer.
it. You just
I
ruined
couldn't
it.
hold it in any longer.
You're like, how's that?
You think they bought it? You think they bought it?
You think they bought it? Damn.
Yeah, I think you guys bought it, and you're going to show us in shares.
All right,
Yes.
so this is where we get to the point where I'm going to answer your immigration questions. And in a segment that we call, if you got a question, I got an answer for you. Right now, getting your answers, call with your immigration questions. 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Omar in Galveston, Texas. Omar.
Hello,
How are
good
you?
afternoon or good evening, Mr. Brad.
Good evening.
Yeah, man, everything is okay, man,
Wonderful.
and big up you and the crew
Thank
and
you.
everybody, man.
Thank
you know,
you.
enough ratings and respect, for
Thank
the
you.
good work.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I have two questions. Let me get to the point. Yeah, I've been waiting a while, but yeah, I get to the man himself.
Sure.
I have a friend of mine who is here on a J1. Their 3 months has finished. They're on their grace period now. Yeah.
I'm listening.
Yes, sir.
Uh-huh.
And the person is interested in staying here. They're getting a job offer from another family who have a certified business and stuff like that. So the person wanted to know they could go about adjusting their status, whether through marriage or whether through work. But in their visa, the J1, it said something about 2 years, like if you should marry, you have to go back to your home country for 2 years, something like that. So I wanted to get the answer from you.
Well, if you have a 2-year home residence requirement, you have to either remove the 2-year home residence requirement to adjust your status. So they're not going to be able to they can do a job sponsorship, but they would go home and then wait home about 18 months for a job sponsorship to come through, to come back with a green card, provided they get a waiver of the 2-year home residence requirement. But they're not going to be able to adjust their status here through a job because they're going to end up overstaying. You can overstay and adjust your status through marriage, but you would still, while you are overstaying here, have to remove the 2-year home residence requirement. Now, there's certain jobs where the embassy gives you the 2-year home residence requirement, and they're wrong. I had a guy come in from Jamaica about a year ago, and actually the embassy was incorrect. He was working as a token booth guy at Great Adventure in New Jersey on a J1 visa. And it said he said he had a 2-year home residence requirement. And they were wrong in categorizing his 2-year home residence requirement because the 2-year home residence requirement gets put into effect in one of two situations. One, when the U.S. government pays for your program here. So the U.S. government wants, as part of paying for the program, the U.S. government wants to see their bang for their buck, which is take what you've learned in America and go home and use it.
Yes, sir.
And that's the whole purpose of the J1 visa. The other time when they put in the 2-year home residence requirement is when you're in your job that you learned to do here, whatever program you're on here, trains you to do something back in your home country that's in short supply. So I said to him, this makes no sense. The U.S. government didn't pay for you to go work at Great Adventure, and Great Adventure doesn't have a short supply of people taking tokens at a booth to go on a ride. So we actually did the research and realized that they were wrong. So sometimes you're wrong also on the J1 visa, but the short answer is if you want to do a job sponsorship, unless they miscategorized you, you're going to have to go home, fight the 2-year home residence from home. If you're going to do a marriage, you can do it here and fight the 2-year home residence from here. and adjust.
Okay, so you would have to file some kind of paper, like something of the sort, to remove it, or some kind of waiver.
Right, you need a good lawyer. So hold on one second, okay?
Yeah, but one more question.
What?
Yes, one more question. On the 11th of this month, they put in effect that thing where if you have an RFE, they can immediately go ahead and deny you, and then after that, it's removal order and everything. So is that fully?
No, that's not what. No. What they're putting into effect is that if you have duration of status or duration of studies on your J1 or F1, the 180-day and 3-year and 10-year bar go into effect starting September, but not RFE puts you in deportation. So hold on one second, okay? It won't have an effect on you. I think that's what you're talking about. Hold on. All right, let's go to Monique in Queens.
Yes, hi, good evening to
Monique.
Everybody. So, Mr. Brad, I have a concern about my visa.
Mm-hmm.
The first time when I applied for my visa independently, I didn't get one, right?
Right.
So I was working with this family who, babysitting, who needed, they needed to go on a vacation, and I applied for a visa through them, and I got it.
Great.
So it's visa R, a B1,
Yeah, tourist visa.
But it was a 1-year visa.
Okay.
So I traveled one time, we vacation and we went back. I traveled again, and this time I'm still here, but they're gone home.
And now you've overstayed your time.
Yes.
Okay. So let me just explain to everybody watching out there. If you work as a domestic employee for a U.S. citizen in another country.
No, it's not. It's in another country. It's not U.S. citizen.
Who are you working for?
It was a citizen of the Cayman Islands.
Oh, it was a citizen of the Cayman Islands you were working as a domestic for, and they were bringing you here with them.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Usually you don't get a visa for that, but good. Glad you did, because you're not allowed to legally work here in that type of situation for someone.
No, I'm not No, it's not. I'm not on the job. What I wanted to know is what the reason why I'm still here.
I thought you told me you got a visitor's visa to accompany your employer to America.
Yes, I did. I came once, we went back, and we came again, but they're gone, and I'm still here. The reason why I'm still here, though, my visa was for 1 year, and it's expired. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, the concern that I have is when I go back to apply, I'm scared that I won't get it. I won't get my visa independently.
You won't. You won't for two reasons. One, you don't work for the people anymore. And two, you've overstayed your time. Once you overstay your time, they say you violated your visa. Why would we give you another visa to violate it a second time? You would never get a second visa. You're 100% right. So now your question is you overstayed your time, and what should you?
About a month.
Okay, and what should you do? Well, I will tell you what you should have done. What you should have done was call me over a month ago before you overstayed, so we could discuss all your options. Your options are a lot less limited now, or a lot more limited now, because you've overstayed and now calling me 1 month into your overstay. You're in Queens, I'm in Manhattan, you're around the corner, come see us. Hold on. Let's go to Jake in Charleston, South Carolina. Jake. All right, Jake is having issues. We'll come back to Jake. Carolyn in Brooklyn. Carolyn.
Yes, I really can't talk now, but thank you.
All right.
I'll have to call back.
Okay. Let's go back to Jake in South Carolina. Jake.
Hey, Brad. Thank you very much for taking my call.
Yeah, what's going on?
How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Hey, I have a quick question. So, my friend applied. He's a good friend of mine. He's a U.S. citizen, and he applied for his parents, and his parents actually got their green card interview, which I'm not sure is that even possible, because I know about marriage interviews, but the parents got the interview now. I'm not sure what kind of questions would they ask to the parents.
Well, they just want to make sure that there's no fraud, that there's an affidavit of support. But as a U.S. citizen, you can file for your parents.
Yeah, but now for an interview, that was very unheard of, right? I mean, they're calling for an interview
they call for an interview for everybody
for the parents.
They call for an interview for everybody.
And what kind of questions would they ask I know about the marriage case interview. I mean, they want to make sure.
Fraud-related questions to make sure that they've never lied to the U.S. government, make sure they don't have a criminal record, make sure that they don't have communicable diseases, look at the affidavit of support, make sure that this is in fact their child. It's really fraud, criminal, anything that would make them inadmissible.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. And a quick question about the September 11th RFE thingy. That once you the USCIS can actually not give you an RFE, and they can just literally deny your application.
Correct.
So, I mean, is there an audit or something
basically what's going to happen is this. They're telling you, we're not giving you a second chance to correct your errors. You either file properly or you will be denied. That's basically it.
Okay, and so they can literally just deny even if they overlook something on their side?
Correct. Even if it's their error, they can deny it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, okay.
Yeah, that's why you need good lawyers.
Okay.
That's why you need good lawyers. Hold on one second. Let's go to Andrea in Queens. Andrea.
Hi, good day.
How are you?
Yes, good day, sir. I'm good, thank you.
What's going on?
Everything is okay, but I have a question. I called you some time ago, quite a bit some time ago, and I gave you my priority date, which is May 2014, and you advised me to come in within 2 years' time to see you. I am just calling to check now to see, because I kind of lose track of time.
What is your priority date? What is your priority date and who's sponsoring
2014,
you?
May 2014.
Who's sponsoring you?
My dad.
Your dad?
The U.S. citizen.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. We're not ready for you yet. You're probably another 12 months off.
Another 12 months?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I'll keep in touch.
Yes,
Thank
keep in
you.
touch in another 12 months. All right?
All right, no problem.
As we say,
Thank
keep
you.
the faith and keep in touch. All right?
Yes,
All right.
definitely. Thank you
Okay.
so much.
Let's go to Caroline in Brooklyn.
Carolyn?
Carolyn.
Yes, yes.
How are
I
you?
have a question for you.
Yes.
How are you?
Good. What's going on?
I'm trying to figure out if my husband needs a waiver when I'm going through the visa process now. We got married here. He went back to Guyana. He left in February 2016. He came back in August, but they canceled his visa at the port of entry because they said the ticket that I bought for him was, I put it back for him to return back to Guyana within 6 months. So they canceled it and said, we're not going to give you the entry. My question is, when CIS approved my I-130 recently, did they see what happened to him or no?
Yes, they did, but it sounds like he got deported at the airport for misrepresentation on what his purpose of coming to live here. That's why they would turn him around, because they said you're coming here to live permanently, you're not coming here to visit. So if that's in case what happened, he got deported at the airport, he's going to need several waivers. Perhaps one for misrepresentation, and certainly one for summary exclusion.
Yeah, because the officer told him, well, you're coming to work.
Right, yeah, so that's misrepresentation.
Oh.
He's got a big
So
problem.
the waiver...
He's got a huge problem, and there's no guarantee the waiver would get approved. Huge problem. A huge problem. You need to come see us. Hold on one second.
Okay. And one other thing, as far as the interview, let's say I get the interview, will they tell me I need the waiver, or when he goes to his interview in Guyana?
When he goes for his interview in Guyana, he's going to be denied because he got deported at the airport and potentially made a misrepresentation with coming to work on a visitor's visa. So he needs several waivers. That's why I'm saying hold on. Okay, hold on. Let's go to Eileen in West Palm Beach, Florida. Eileen.
Hello.
How are you?
Good evening.
Good
How are
evening.
you
Good.
today?
Good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm here on a B2 visitor's visa
Right.
for a couple of weeks. And when I was coming in, they only stamped my passport with the state I come in. No B2 visa or when I'm supposed to go. That is one question. What is the significance of that? And
There is no significance. They don't necessarily tell you when you're supposed to leave, but you can go to it's 6 months, or you can go check online when you're supposed to leave. It'll go out. You can show it online.
Okay, and my mother filed for me, and I'm over 21. And is it possible for me to file a I-485 and stay?
No, because you have about a 6-7 year waiting list. Hold on one second. You have a waiting list of about 6 or 7 years. So you would overstay your time and be here out of status. You need to hold on so you understand how the immigration system works. Hold on. You need a consultation. Let's go to Lisa in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Lisa.
Hello.
Hi, Lisa.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Brother.
Good evening. What's going on?
I have a question for you. I wanted to find out if someone has a visiting visa and they came in the U.S., overstayed, how does that work?
How does that work? You come into the United States, you don't leave, you're now out of status. That's how it works. Your question is, how do I fix it? You need a consultation.
Yes.
I can't tell you to go fill out. You overstayed, go fill out a form. There's no such form to fill out. Okay, so you need to speak with a lawyer, figure out your entire life. It doesn't happen on this show. I can't figure out how to solve your life problem on this show. It's impossible. You would need to sit with me for about 20, 30 minutes. Maybe I could do a different show where we sit down with one person every day for 30 minutes and do a consultation, but I can't do it right now and go through all these questions. So you need to have a consultation with me. All the people who are calling, how do I get a green card? Have a consultation. Hold on one second. Let's go to Henry in Pensacola, Florida. Henry.
Hello. Hey, Mr. Brad.
Hey,
sir.
how are you?
I'm doing okay. Hey, I just have one concern with my wife. My wife has a green card, but she has to go back for her 10-year next year in March. But the question is, we had a son. We had a baby. He's now 6 months. So what I did was, I didn't think it affects her, but what I did was I went and got food stamps for him, EBT for him, but she wasn't added to the case then. But now since she's living in the household, she's now added to the case, but she's not getting EBT, or I'm not getting EBT because I didn't add myself. I'm not even getting EBT. I just got it for my son. Also, he gets Medicaid, but they needed her information as well as my information for him.
Does she have a green card?
Medicaid. Yeah, she has a green card.
Okay, so then give her information. What's the problem?
Yeah, I was just asking because of next year she's going back for her 10-year. And within her 10 years, she has to go back.
Yeah, because she's not getting, it's not government assistance for her, it's government assistance for a U.S. citizen. Won't affect her.
Okay, so she won't be affected by it?
No.
Oh, thank God, because she hit me up. Yeah, okay. All right, thank you. That's all I want to know.
Sleep well.
All right, bye-bye.
Okay. Guy's like, oh! She's like touching himself all over the place. All right, let's go to Kim in Queens, New York. Kim.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Brad. Thanks for accepting my call.
Yeah, what's going on?
I have 5 questions that I want to ask you.
Yeah.
Can my husband with a salary of $26,000 per year file for me and my daughter?
$26,000 a year file for you and your daughter. He can file for you. You may need a second affidavit of support. Let's see what the poverty guidelines are for a family. Does he have anybody else on his tax returns?
My son. But he doesn't live here with us.
Okay, so then you would be a family of 4 people. Is that correct?
I'm not sure because my son doesn't live here, but it's only 3 is in the household.
I understand that, but you are 4 if he's declaring him on the tax return. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So for right now, family of 4. Let's see, poverty guidelines. Family of 4. He does not earn enough. He's going to have to earn at least $32,000 to $34,000, somewhere in that range.
Oh, okay.
So you're going to need a second affidavit of support from somebody else.
So we have to send in the joint sponsor when I'm doing the I-80.
Yes.
I-864.
Yes.
All right.
Because guess what? Guess what? After September 11th, you're going to get denied. You're hearing it from everybody.
After September 11th?
Yes, last week. So if you file it incorrectly, you will be denied. They're going to take your filing fee and deny you.
Because I filed on July 16, but they sent back a letter requesting for initial evidence.
Exactly. Now, had you filed after September 11th, the point I'm trying to make to everybody is you wouldn't get that letter.
And September 11th
and
is
they would
already
just deny
gone.
you. You're okay. What I'm giving advice for other people.
Okay. For my son, I'm
Yes.
getting the EBT/Medicaid. Will that affect my filing?
Certainly, it's not helping it. They take everything into consideration. Although, if it's for your son and not for you, you should be able to get a green card. But it certainly affects your case.
Okay. And what document do I need to submit with the I-864?
3 years tax returns, a job letter, and a bank letter.
And a bank letter.
Yes.
Okay. Thanks. For both joint and my husband.
What do you mean joint and your husband? I don't know what that means.
Because if you need a second affidavit support,
I just finished telling you the answer is yes. So that person needs to do it as well.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right, so let's go to Marina in Chicago, Illinois.
Hey, how are you?
How you doing?
Okay, I'm calling in reference to my sister. So she was convicted of like a drug crime years back and everything. So when she got, she went to jail and got out did 1.5 years. Immigration picked her up and everything. So a judge granted her a stay and everything. So she still has to go like yearly check-ins and everything. So this year, it's something different. They had asked her for 2 passport pictures.
Okay, all right, Marina, stop. Judge
Yes.
didn't give her a stay to live here. Okay,
I'm sorry,
sounds like to me, she was ordered deported, but they were unable to deport her back to her home country for whatever reason. They couldn't prove she was who she was. The country wasn't accepting her, whatever the situation was. So now Trump is trying to get all these people to actually physically leave America. But she's under an order of deportation. The government's trying to deport her. She needs help. Hold on. Okay? Things are not good. It's bad when you go to a judge in immigration, they say keep reporting every year. You're reporting to get deported. They just can't drop you off in the middle of the ocean. They got to send you to a country somewhere. Hold on one second. Let's go to Ibrahim in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Ibrahim. Oh, Ibrahim is not there. All right. What do we have here? We have it is Citizenship Day.
It is Citizenship Day.
It is Citizenship Day. So we had followed a while back Sarah and her husband Joseph on citizenship interview. Let's watch.
My name's Joseph.
My name's Sarah.
Thanks to the law firm of Spar and Bernstein, we are here today so that we can go through my wife's citizenship ceremony to become an American citizen.
I'm so excited. I'm from original country, Jordan. I came to America 2004. In the beginning of my process, the problem threw me in an ocean.
I knew when those letters started showing up, we needed a lawyer. When they say remove, that means we're taking you out. It affected us both deeply. My wife later on saw a commercial for the firm of Spar and Bernstein. And I said, what have we got to lose?
Bernstein, he helps me a lot. I recommended everyone. They're not a business, they are family. They care about you, they care about your case, they care about your problem. They don't leave you until when your problem solved.
4 years later, the nightmare we were going through at the time is now over.
I will recommend it, Spar, Bernstein, for everybody. When I was a teenager, I have a dream, to come to United States, and this dream grow. with me. And one day my mother, when she passed away, she said, "It's your dream will become truth one day." It's her spirit. I felt she's around me. I can live my dream in a great country without any interruption. A freedom to do anything you want. Like me, I got my medical license and I'm working. This is America, a great country.
All right, so that was our citizenship thing.
It was.
Right, it was very nice. We like that, right?
I love that,
Right.
where she's always saying she was drowning in an ocean before Spar Bernstein saved her.
Yeah.
I think that's such a beautiful
So
sentiment.
meanwhile, we had Juli Briskman. You remember her? She was the person who flipped off, gave the finger to Donald Trump. Were you here at the time or no?
No.
But you remember?
Yes.
The person?
Yes.
So she was the cyclist. She made headlines by flipping off.
I remember
by
that.
flipping off the president. And she appeared on our show with Jordon Dyrdahl-Roberts, who quit his position from the Montana Labor Department as a legal secretary after he was asked to snitch by ICE. So both lost their jobs, and Briskman eventually reached out to Jordon Dyrdahl-Roberts, and she's now running for Congress. That's her giving the finger.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But let's watch our back tape on Jordon and Juli. Let's watch. With us today is Jordon Dyrdahl-Roberts. You may remember him. In Shooting the Breeze a few weeks ago, we talked about him. He was working as a secretary in the Labor Department in Montana for the State Department of Labor in Montana, and they were asked to flag people that they came across in the Labor Department who were working illegally and forward that information to ICE to pick them up in Montana. When Jordon was made aware that he was the person who had to flag the immigrants who were working out of status and notify immigration to have them arrested, he went and protested and ultimately quit his job. We talked about him a few weeks ago. We have him on now. Jordon Dyrdahl-Roberts, how are you?
I'm doing all right. How about you?
Good, good, good. So I told a little bit about what happened. I'm sure you're going to be able to expand on that a lot. But tell us a little bit about your family's immigration history, because you became this, sensation on the internet and the press for basically protecting immigrants. Are you an immigrant?
No. I have relatives who came over on the Mayflower. And I've got some more, slightly more recent Italian immigrant family, but
maybe 8 generations ago. You're about as entrenched. Your family is entrenched here with the Pilgrims and the Founding Fathers. So you didn't think when you woke up, a few months ago, that you would be in the center of an immigration debate protecting immigrants. How did that hit you personally?
Well, so when I was just told, oh, keep an eye out for these ICE subpoenas. And it took me a while to realize what that meant, because I couldn't figure out initially why ICE would be in Montana.
What were the ICE subpoenas? In other words, you were working for the State Labor Department?
Yeah, State Labor Department as a legal secretary for the Legal Services Division. So they represent the department in whatever legal matters, wage disputes, whatever side the department took.
And also, if somebody was doing a job sponsorship, they would have to get a prevailing wage for that job?
Exactly.
Right. So every time somebody was doing a job sponsorship, the State Labor Department would get involved. Or they came across any sort of wage dispute with somebody who may have been out of status.
Well, it's in just general wage disputes, we handle things like, somebody not getting their last paycheck because their boss was an unpleasant person.
Right. So anybody who would bring a claim to ask the Labor Department to assist them because the Labor Department's there to assist the U.S. worker, and then if you were found that you were assisting a worker who is undocumented, the State Labor Department, this is the state of Montana, said, go call ICE.
Well, it's a little bit different because the the department has a lot of information from all these cases and stuff, and this was ICE asking for parts of that information. So basically, the way I thought what I thought was going to happen, because I had tapped out before this most recent round of subpoenas came across my desk, was that they would be comparing whatever information we gave them to something they had and be like, oh, this person is, undocumented. Let's go pick them up. And my job as legal secretary was going to be, I would take that subpoena, pass it on to the attorney. They'd contact whatever division they were asking for information from, and then they would direct that information to me. And my job would have been to, package it nicely. However, if it was a small document request, I could just mail it as a single page. Or if it was a bulk request, it would have been,
all the information that you have about this person at the State Labor Department, their name, their date of birth, their address, where they're working, make it as easy as possible for Immigration and Customs Enforcement to go knock on this guy's door or lady's door or at their place of employment and go pick them up and deport them, basically.
Yeah, I would be the point person. So I would have done the cover letter, signed my name, like, here you go, ICE.
Right. So they were basically asking you at the State Labor Department to be a snitch for ICE. Your job was not legal secretary. They said your job is now snitch. You tell ICE every person who's working here undocumented, ICE will go pick it up. You're the snitch, and they won't even know that it's coming from you.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's ICE co-opted the department as an intelligence gathering apparatus.
Right.
I was comfortable with that for a lot of reasons. When you give information to the Department of Labor, you assume it's going to be used for labor-related issues. We might share it with the federal Department of Labor.
Right.
But there's no assumption that it's going to be used for immigration.
Right. So now you're not only a snitch, you're an intelligence gatherer for the U.S. government. You may be even giving information to ICE to say, go pick up this undocumented person, and maybe they're an American citizen for all you know. ICE is relying on you to go tell them who's undocumented. The legal secretary at the State Department of Montana. God knows how many people maybe they picked up who may have been legal. Because I've seen that happen many times.
Well, and it's one of the things where even now, when they're supposedly focusing on undocumented workers, I mean, you can see they're going for naturalized citizens next. So it's that was part of my objection, was it's not going to stop with
It wasn't white middle-aged male Americans like yourself. They were minorities, darker skinned, people with names that may not be Smith or Johnson, right?
Yeah.
All right. So let me ask you a question. So now they're asking you to do all of this, and you may have even been doing this unwittingly for a while. You may not have been aware. And when you did find out that you were doing all of this, what did you do?
Well, so I'll run down real quick. So it was Tuesday afternoon. Attorney stops on my desk. I'm in the middle of something else. Says, keep an eye out for some ICE subpoenas tomorrow. I hear subpoenas tomorrow and just sort of continue about my day. And then it wasn't until later that it sort of clicked in my brain that ICE, immigration. Okay, wait a second. So the next morning, I go in, I give my wife a real quick phone call, and I say, I might be asked to process these subpoenas for ICE. I don't think I can do that. I was expecting there to be a bit of a conversation, but without a moment's hesitation, she just said, okay, and that was it.
Now, have you ever done any social activism before, or is this the first thing it hit you in your conscience and you said, you know what, I can't do this. I can't send people home.
I mean, I've attended a couple marches. I've called senators for stuff, but never something on this level. I wasn't thinking of it as a social activism act at the time. At most, I thought I might be able to convince some people in the department to sort of reassess what we were doing. I had not realized this would become a social
media
activism.
Sensation. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So now people are calling you a hero. You quit your job. You took a stand against this. Now, the state of Montana is still doing this. I assume somebody took your job and they're contacting ICE. But you took a stand, and nobody knew that that state labor departments are ratting out workers who make claims against their bosses for unfair treatment, that if they're undocumented. And now you have brought this to not only attention of the state of Montana, but the entire United States. And some people are calling you a hero. What do you think about being called a hero?
So when I did this, I was making a pretty personal decision, and I hadn't really anticipated it taking off like this. And I have some issue with the word hero, just because I think when people look for a hero, they're looking for somebody else to do something. They're looking for someone to save them. And what I did was, I just did sort of what I thought you were supposed to do. You do not collaborate with the authoritarian regime. And so
you don't hurt other people. You don't hurt other people if you cannot.
Yeah, it's just sort of what you're supposed to do. And so that the word here gives me a little bit of an uncomfortable feeling, just because I expect this shouldn't be heroic. This should be what you do when you're asked to,
to do something wrong.
Out.
When you're asked to do something wrong, there should be a normal person's reaction, a reasonable person's reaction. When you're asked to do something wrong and you're asked to hurt strangers that are doing nothing wrong here, this should be a normal reaction. Unfortunately, it's not. And I think that's why people are calling you a hero, especially you yourself are not an immigrant. You have said your family came here basically, if it wasn't the Mayflower, it was the next ship after the Mayflower. And as a result of this, you have made a discussion and made this information available that otherwise would never have been known. Now, the state of Montana came out and said, what's the big deal? They've been doing this for years. They've been ratting people out for years. What do you have to say about that?
Well, so it's more than possible that previously, like, something had come across my desk and, a lot of paperwork just came across my desk. So I might have passed something on without realizing it, just because sometimes when you get a subpoena, it doesn't necessarily say like, hi, this is from immigration. Like it could, depending on who's asking for it, how it might be labeled, it might not instantly come off as relating to immigration. Had that attorney not said ICE subpoenas, it's possible I could have just pushed the paperwork across my desk, send it off, and when it came back to me, send it out without
even knowing. It was the word ICE subpoena that caught your attention.
Yeah.
Right. You said, wait a second. Whoa, subpoena, ICE, what's going on here? Now, you worked there for 10 years. You gave up a very good government job that you would have been there for the rest of your life. You gave up potentially a huge pension when you retired. I don't know what you deal with your pension after either getting fired or quitting after 10 years. How did you said your wife said okay. She supported you. You have children as well. What did you say to your daughter? How did she react? And how did people react to you saying, how could you quit a job and now you can't support a family? You have children to support. How could you do that to your children?
Well, it's so that was an interesting conversation to have with a toddler.
How old is your daughter, by the way?
Gonna be 4. So it was after sending out the tweets, after having dinner with my in-laws, and I hadn't been checking Twitter after that, and so we're in the car driving back home, and I'm trying to explain, all right, kiddos, so things are gonna be a little different. It's gonna be a little more difficult. We're gonna have to make some, tough choices, because Dad, I had to make a hard choice, and I had to say, I couldn't. I was asked why, so I asked. I couldn't help break up families, and give it to a toddler's understanding of how the world works. Why would anybody want to break up families?
Right.
That's sad.
Exactly.
And that leveled me. It was like, okay, I have the support of my kid. My kid is behind me 100% right now. All right. And then this was before I realized that a lot more people were behind me. And well, the thing was, I couldn't have expected this to take off the way it did because.
Well, after you quit, you put out a tweet, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And that's how we originally found out about you, because people were retweeting it, and we talked about you on our show a few weeks ago about it. So so the reaction on Twitter, I assume, and on social media and strangers has been both positive and negative. How has that reaction been to you? How do you feel people's reaction has been?
It's overwhelmingly positive. I mean, I've gotten a few trolls, but like they are fewer in number and far less articulate than the people who've been supporting me and telling me. Yeah, generally how it is.
We get a few trolls on the Brad Show too. They're always less articulate than the people we're helping.
Yeah, so it's I'm dealing just fine with the negative reaction because there really hasn't been that much. I mean, even in Montana, you have people who will say, well, I don't support your idea, but the fact that you stood by it enough to quit your job, okay. So, I mean, it's...
Because you have principle. You took a stand and you have principles, and you said, you know what, we're not going to hurt these people. It's wrong. And people say, and when they see that there's somebody who you have no stake in the game. It's not your family. It's not your relatives. You're not a politician. You're not on television as a pundit. You have no stake in the game. This was just done because as a human being, you said we shouldn't be doing this to another human being. And I think, how could anybody possibly argue against you for that? Now, go ahead.
I was a public servant. I was serving the public. Granted, that time it required me to not do the job I had been given, but I mean, I was serving the public to the best of my ability. It, just didn't quite work out the way I had wanted it to.
Now what? Okay, true. Now, what are you doing lately? How are you supporting yourself now?
I've received a lot of support. There was a GoFundMe. People donated stuff to PayPal. I've been humbled by the level of support I've gotten. It's given me a chance to, instead of right now scrambling to find the next job that will give me a paycheck, I am now looking for a way that I can do the most good with this opportunity.
What you've been given. You have a platform and you have people donating money to you. So you want to obviously do good with that. Now, interestingly enough, you know what I'm going to say, is on our show, around the same time that you had quit your job at the state labor department in Montana for not wanting to snitch on immigrants, there was a woman who was also an internet sensation. She was riding her bicycle, and we talked about this on our show as well. And there she is giving, this is the Trump motorcade. We're not sure which car Donald Trump is in, but there she is on her bicycle. Her name is Juli Briskman, and she gave Trump the finger. And she also became somewhat of a internet sensation. This is Juli Briskman. Hi, how are you?
Hi, Brad. Thanks for having me.
And thanks for coming on. And why this all comes together, because people are saying, well, how did this all come together? Is because Juli, when she found out what Jordon did, besides being the one who flipped off Trump, she is the one who started the GoFundMe campaign for Jordon. You started the GoFundMe campaign without ever speaking to Jordon, I understand?
I did, yep. I started the GoFundMe before we actually spoke. And I just want to address, I know that Jordan's being really humble about being called a hero, but Brad, I think you nailed it on the head when you said he's a hero because he had no stake in the game. No stake in the game and did the right thing anyway, without knowing what was going to happen, without any safety net underneath him. And when I saw that he did that, and saw the tweet that he was quitting his job and F ICE, I thought this guy is a hero and he needs our support.
So after you started the GoFundMe campaign, you were able to get it off the ground because you were a bit of an internet sensation too, with the photo with the finger. How much money did you think you were going to raise, and how much money did you raise for Jordon?
I wasn't really sure. I mean, I put a goal up there of raising $50,000 for Jordon and his family, and right now we're almost at $40,000. I'm excited to say, so we're just about to our goal.
So how did it feel that, let's get to your story for a second, and then we'll get how you met Jordon and everything. How did it feel? I mean, you're a private citizen. You're not also a politician, I believe, or anything. You're a bicyclist, and Donald Trump just happens to be driving by you. I mean, did you know he was going to be driving by you? Did you give any thought to giving him the finger ahead of time? Was this just something that just was spontaneous? And who actually took this photo of you?
The photograph was taken by an AFP pool reporter. It was not premeditated. It was just a gut reaction. And I think that's a big difference between Jordon and I, and one of the reasons this resonated with me so much. I mean, I was thrust into this because I gave my opinion, the only way I knew how, to this guy going by in the motorcade. But Jordon, again, he's a hero because he thought about it. Really thought in my heart, I can't do this anymore, and I know this is going to, affect my ability to pay my mortgage. It's going to affect my ability to save for my kids' college, but I'm going to do the right thing anyway.
Now, this was a gut reaction that you did. You didn't expect anyone to take a photograph of it. You didn't expect it to do anything to your life whatsoever. You were not expecting anybody, the pool reporter, to take the photograph. You weren't expecting this to go viral. Now, ultimately, when this did, it did affect your life because you lost your job. You had, I guess, a nice job working at a company, and they fired you as a result of this photograph. Is that correct?
That's correct. My photograph went viral before I really even identified myself. I went to my company and told them that it was me. And they basically said, well, you're allowed to ride your bike, and if media is calling, don't talk to them on company time. And I said, okay, great. I still haven't really decided if I'm going to identify myself. The next day, almost exactly 24 hours later, they fired me.
And what was the reason that they said they fired you?
They said they fired me because I violated their social media policy.
Even though you had nothing to do with it?
Yes.
It wasn't your tweet. How did you react to that when you got fired? What was
I was shocked.
You were shocked.
Unbelievable to me because I had kind of gone to them for advice. I had put the photograph on a couple of my social medias, but I never identified myself as working for that company. And the reaction I got when I initially told them about it was not, oh, go take it off right now. Go get rid of it. It was, oh, well, just don't talk to media on company time. So the next day when I was fired, I was completely shocked. I was floored. I was driving home thinking, how much money do I have in my savings account? How am I going to pay my mortgage? How am I going to, I've got 2 kids myself. And so it was shocking and very upsetting.
Now, this just happened recently. So what have you been doing since you've gotten fired? Have you looked for another job? Have you looking to take legal action against your employer? Have you looked to be an activist? I know you started the GoFundMe campaign. Tell us what you're doing right now.
Fortunately, also for me, once folks heard that Acoma did not fire another person without seeing social media content, and they did fire me, there was a GoFundMe for me as well. So just like Jordon, I've had some breathing room to figure out what I'm going to do. I picked up some project work. I launched my website, and I'm exploring job opportunities, and I am exploring legal options as well.
So for Jordon, this is almost in a way a pay it forward to you, or is it just more of this is a guy who had no stake in the game, just like you kind of in a way. You didn't look to make this public or publicity. It just kind of hit you more than you tried to do it. And you kind of just said this is a guy who deserves some help as well.
It was absolutely a pay it forward situation. I have felt so overwhelmed and humbled and grateful for what folks have done for me. And I saw that $5, $10, if you multiply that by thousands of people, you can make a real difference. And I was hoping, crossing my fingers, that this would be something good for Jordon and that I could pay that forward to him.
Well, you certainly did, for sure. Now, let me ask you a question. You also have a family. What was you have two teenagers? What was their reaction to all of this? And not only you giving the finger to the Trump motorcade, it going viral, and you ultimately losing your job.
So most of my family, we are not big Trump fans. So when I actually went past the motorcade that day, later in that day, I tweeted on our family group chat, "I just got to flip off the president, ha ha ha," and that was it. And then later, when it kind of started to go viral, the kids were getting a little bit nervous, but locally, people were supportive about it, and the kids started to hear about it in the school, and so they were fine with it. They were very afraid when I got fired, and I did tell them a couple of days later. I was waiting for after my daughter's birthday. They were very nervous about that, but when I told them about the unequal treatment, they were fired up.
Now, let me ask you a question now, because let's bring you back with Jordon there. Okay. How did you guys end up, you started the GoFundMe for Jordon. How did you guys end up talking, and have you ever met?
I'll take that, Jordon, if you don't mind. We had never met. I saw him on Twitter. I kind of trolled his Facebook a little bit. I sent him a couple messages and didn't get a response. So I'm a former daily newspaper reporter, so I thought, all right, you know what? I'm going to get a hold of this guy no matter what. So I started doing a little investigating. I was able to find his phone number at work, and they forwarded me to his desk, but it kept getting bounced back. So then I found his mother-in-law. Just doing some research, I connected the last names, and I called up and I'm like, "Do you by chance know Jordon Dyrdahl-Roberts?" And she's like, "Yes, that's my son-in-law." And we had a lovely conversation, and she told me how supportive they were of him and how much trouble a country can get into if people just follow orders. You can't just follow orders, or we go down this authoritarian slippery slope, and before you know it,
it's Germany in World War II. Yeah. I mean, well, it'll never get there, but but that's what happened with Germany in World War II. So now we have two people who did not look for the limelight and now have become somewhat of a platform for social conscience, for political thought, for, hey, something's wrong here in the United States of America, from two different perspectives, but similar ideas. What do each of you plan on doing, if anything? Do you want to get into politics? Do you want to get into more social activism, or are each of you doing this on a day-by-day basis and see how it goes?
I'm talking to people. I've been doing a lot of writing for various places, and I'm hoping that what I can do is, with this attention and this spotlight, be able to sort of shine it back on, there's a problem right now in this country. While the comparison isn't one-to-one comparison, there's several very uncomfortable historical parallels we're facing right now. You have a historically unfairly maligned group.
Immigrants, minorities, yes.
Yeah, facing this scapegoating tactic.
Correct.
Being told,
that the problems of America are because of you.
Because of you.
Right.
And we're watching ICE kind of becoming Gestapo 2.0, hunting these people down. And so I'm hoping that while there's a tension here right now, we can sort of say, people have to do something now. Because when this happened, I didn't think it was going to become a thing, because nobody outside of Montana cares about what happens in Montana. Like, occasionally people forget that we're a state and they think we're part of Canada.
I hate to say it, but you're the most exciting thing that happened in Montana all year. They don't call it the fly me over state for nothing, right? Or at the flyover state.
So, but now that people are paying attention, I'd like to get people to do something. Like, we've had marches, we've had demonstrations, but part of the problem is I don't think the administration or the Republicans in Congress right now, I don't think they're capable of guilt or shame. So you can show up with all sorts of numbers, and they will just, skip town for a couple days and then come back and keep doing what they're doing.
Of course.
So I think if I can do anything now that I have this platform, it's to tell people it's time for more than marches, civil disobedience. It's time for more people to just say no, because the only reason this administration keeps marching forward is everyone they're waiting for something to happen. They're waiting for the next election. They're waiting in hopes that it's not going to get that bad.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of complacement, I guess is the word, and people think, okay, we'll vote him out next time. But meanwhile, a lot of bad things are happening every day, and you are the one who has presented it and shown it. You ended your career as you know it because of this, and that's what makes you a hero. Juli, what are your plans for the future?
I am aligning myself with the local Democratic Party for sure. I've been attending a lot of meetings and exploring options around that, either supportive or running for office myself. As I said, I launched my website, and I'm hoping that that's a platform for my voice, however that might be interpreted or used in the future. Doing a lot of writing and hopefully speaking, and I'm coming close to joining an organization that aligns with my values so that I could do both.
Well, you both are amazing in your own ways. I think it's amazing that you got together, and it's coincidental that we talked about both your stories on my show, and now we have you here. We always end our show. We're all about trying to help everybody achieve their American dream. So I'd like to end this and just ask each of you what your American dreams are.
Oh, wow. Why don't you go first, Jordan?
Well, before all this, I had a dream. I wanted to write fiction. I wanted to publish a novel. That dream has shifted slightly. Now I'm hoping that I can be an overall force for good in this country.
It's wonderful. And you, Juli?
I think my dream at this point, especially with what's been happening with the issues down in Parkland, and the more that I think about the youth in our country, I want to leave this as a better place for my kids. In any way that I can do that, I'm energized, and I'm energized by what they're doing. And with a 13 and 15-year-old, I look at them every day and think, we all have to stand up. Jordan did. We have to stand up. We have to speak out. And that's my dream, is to use my platform to speak out, especially against this administration. Diminishing powers and expanding powers any way that it promotes its own racist and isolationist and authoritarian theories and ideology.
Well, you both are amazing. You took stands. You say what's going on in America is wrong. I agree with you. And you both lost your jobs as a result of it, but you've gotten platforms to hopefully do something even better. With every, I guess, they say with every, bump in the road leads to new and better experiences, and certainly to new advances in your life. So I wish you both the best of luck. Juli Briskman, Jordon Dyrdahl, thank you very much for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. All right. So Juli Briskman, by the way, that was a interview we did a few months ago. She is now running to serve as supervisor for the Algonquin District, and this is her statement. And you can find her at Juli Briskman on, I guess, Instagram and Facebook. She writes, "I am running to serve as supervisor for the Algonquin District, where I've worked, volunteered, organized, and raised my kids in public schools. I've launched my campaign on at Crowd Pack because if not now, when? Let's do this." Briskman is hoping to unseat Susan Volpe, a Republican currently representing the Algonquin District, as part of an effort to turn the Loudoun County Board of Supervisors blue Democrat. The board currently has a 6-3 Republican majority. The running enthusiast, an avid community volunteer, said she hadn't considered a bid for public office until her viral moment in October. And the response it got, she was on Bradshaw Live a few months after. Her subsequent firing from her job at Akima, a government contracting firm that contributed to Trump's presidential campaign, caused her to actually turn into politics. Briskman sued Akima in April, and she won her severance claim, and she won her claim in a lawsuit for unlawful and wrongful termination. She wrote in the Washington Post on Tuesday, who interviewed her. So, I mean, she's on Bradshaw Live and the Washington Post. Okay?
How can you get any
That's
higher?
right. That's right. We have a right to peacefully protest and criticize and express dissent toward our government. I've gotten some feedback that folks say you should respect the president. Even if you don't like what they're doing, you shouldn't show this sort of disdain, and I simply disagree, and I think the Constitution grants me that privilege.
Nice.
So we wish Juli Briskman all of the best. We have had a lot of people holding, including Natalie Nichols,
Hey.
who has been holding for almost 1 hour. Natalie?
Hello, Brad.
How you doing, Natalie? Thank you for holding for 1 hour. That is devotion, Yonathan.
Yes.
That is devotion.
Thank you, Brad.
What's going
Thank
on,
you.
Natalie?
Hi, Yo-Yo.
Hey,
Hi,
Natalie.
Tim.
Hey, Natalie.
We got a squad. We got a squad. We got a squad member.
Yeah.
We got a squad member. What's going on, Natalie? What gives?
Okay,
what?
Brad.
Why do we have the pleasure of you calling us tonight? What can we do to help you?
First, I'm calling about this share thing. You know, Facebook is stealing our shares.
I know
And
you've been complaining about that for
share
weeks.
too
You've been
much.
complaining about that for weeks.
Yeah, they block you when you share too much.
Yeah, you know
They
what I
do.
think. You know what I think it is. I think two things. I think number one, if like let's say you and Tamika and Cordella all share to the same group, they only count that as like one share because the show got shared to one group. I also think that if a lot of the groups that you may belong to, you need a moderator to accept the share, and if the moderator doesn't accept the share, they don't count it also. It's my 2 cents.
So we wasting our share?
I don't. Yeah, you got to. Basically, what you got to do is you got to speak with Tamika and Cordella and David Gabriel if you want to speak to him, and Abigail Taylor Watson and Kamisha Theowell and everybody else who's part of the squad, and like say, okay, I'm gonna share to Group A, you share to Group B, you share to Group C, so you're not all sharing to the same people. I think that could be it. I could be wrong. It could also be that Natalie Nichols is right, and Facebook is literally a bunch of thieves.
Being
I don't
a
know.
hater.
I don't know.
right.
It's
Facebook is a
possible.
hater.
Yeah,
It's
they
possible.
do that.
It's possible.
And they steal the shares, too.
I think it's
anyway,
possible.
We
I don't
go fight with them today.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because we really love you, Brad. We appreciate
thank you,
your show. We love
Natalie.
your show.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you.
You help us, and I learn every day.
And
So anyway,
you know what?
got
And I
two
love
questions
everybody who
for you.
watches on a daily basis, and that's why we actually came up with the Brad Squad. I wanted to put you all together and because I can't. It's hard for me to say to each person I love you, but I love the entire squad. So I appreciate it.
That's fine.
And by the way,
for you, Brad.
I love when you guys call up. It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's good to hear from you guys.
Yeah. So our shares let people call in the show because new people be calling every day. So that's nice also. But anyway, I got two questions for you, Brad.
Sure,
Two
go ahead.
questions.
I better get
I'm
these
trying
right,
to get
by
an
the way.
affidavit of support, and my friend is trying to give me the affidavit of support.
Okay.
But she filed for her kids.
Uh-huh.
They're here a year and a half, and she
Okay.
also did her husband.
Right.
She married to her husband almost like 5 years now.
Okay.
Right? Between both of them, when they do their taxes, they make like $60,000. So my question to you is, can she give me an affidavit of support?
As long as the husband adds his income to it, I think they make enough money. It should be fine.
Okay.
So make
she
sure
told me
her and the
that they
husband
said
do it
they don't
together,
make
and it
enough
should be
money. Okay. The next question I have for you. We put the paperwork in already anyways, but we send the affidavit of support on the paperwork already?
Right.
Do we still have to bring a paper affidavit of support when we're going in?
You should bring updated financial documents. You don't need a new form.
Oh, just my updated information I need, right?
Correct. Like, so in other
My
words, let's
taxes and blah, blah,
let's
blah.
say, for example, when you filed, you filed with your 2017 tax returns, and the person who's giving you the affidavit of support, your friend who makes the $60,000, their 2017 and now you get your interview in 2019, and 2018 taxes should have been done. You should be bringing in everybody's 2018s as well.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay, Brad.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Best of luck, Natalie.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling.
You too. Bye-bye.
I love when the squad calls. Love when the squad
it.
calls. All right, let's go quickly. A lot of people have been holding on hold. Susan in Long Beach.
Yes, hi, Brad.
How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Excellent. What's going on?
Okay, hi. I have some question for you, but first I'm going to brief you on what I'm going to ask about. Okay.
By the way, Susan, I'm going to answer your question. I just want to let everybody know, don't call into the show anymore, because we've had people on hold for about 45 minutes now, so I want to get through everybody who's been on hold. If you do have an immigration question, leave it in the comments.
Yes.
It'll go. No, Susan, I'm going to answer yours. I'm just telling, I see there's additional people calling in now. Don't call, because we're not going to be able to get to all your calls, but the people who've been on hold for 20, 30 minutes, I'm going to get to everybody. So you guys stay. All new callers, leave your comments, leave your questions in the Facebook comments or the YouTube comments, and I will answer them. It'll be faster that way. Okay, Susan, go ahead.
Okay, I overstayed my visa, my visiting visa. So I'm married to a U.S. citizen. Okay, I filed my paperwork, but because of insufficient evidence, it was denied. Okay,
What was the insufficient evidence?
They asked for additional stuff like sponsor and some other stuff. I can't.
All right.
Remember.
So basically, you're still with your husband?
No.
Okay. So what happened?
I filed the VAWA and the divorce at the same time.
That's fine.
Right. The VAWA was approved.
Great.
The VAWA was approved this year.
Great.
So the only thing I sent with the VAWA was the I-360 was.
All right. So you file an I-485 now, and you'll get your work permit and your green card.
Oh, so there's nothing for me to worry about, right?
Nothing for you to worry about. File the I-485, the I-765. You're all good.
Okay, another question.
What?
The 485 was transferred to another office. Is that something to be concerned about?
No, because they just transfer files around based on work. So you have an I-485 pending.
Okay, and
wait, Susan. Wait. Your I-45 is pending.
Oh, it's pending.
Okay, fine. So you're all good. Your I-360.
No. I don't know. It says it was transferred to another office.
So it's still pending then. It's good.
Okay, and I didn't send in any medical. Is that going to be a problem?
You'll bring the medical to the interview. What I think you need to do, Susan, is just you don't want to hire me, that's fine, but let's have a consultation. Let me look over all the paperwork you're talking about, so that way I know that you're on the right track. It sounds like it, but let's be 100% certain. Okay? Even in California.
Okay,
if you want to, it's up to you. I don't force anybody. All right, hold on. Let's go to Ibrahim in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Ibrahim.
Hello.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. What's going on?
Good. Actually, I came here on 2013. I had a visitor visa, but after a year, and they granted this paper from CPS because my country has Ebola before. I'm from Guinea, so it already expired and they never renewed. I never sent it to immigration because they said it's just for 18 months. I never sent it to immigration.
Ibrahim, you're cutting in and out. So all I heard is you came from Guinea and you overstayed. After that, I didn't really get much.
Yes, okay. They got me a paper that called TPS because my country has...
You have TPS, Temporary Protected Status.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And that one already expired since 2017, so I'm still here, like without
any status now.
Yes,
all right.
yes.
So you like everybody else, you calling, how do I get a green card? And I don't have, I unfortunately don't have the answer to tell somebody who calls me up and says, I have an answer if I have a consultation with you, hopefully. But, if you call up and say, listen, I'm from Guinea, I'm from Jamaica, I'm from Chile, it doesn't really matter where you're from, and I overstayed my time, how do I get a green card? It's such an open-ended question, and there's literally encyclopedias of books on how to get green cards. You need to have a consultation with us so we can figure it out. So hold on one second. Let's go to Emmengoat. I guess it's Emmengoat or Emmengoat in Los Angeles. Hello? Emingat. Emingat.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
How are you, Emingat?
Good, brother. How are you?
Good, good. What's going on?
Good, good, good.
Emingat.
Yeah, I have one question.
What?
Like, I get my permit like last month.
Right.
Like a marriage-based case.
Right.
And how long do you think so I'm going to get my interview, like from 485?
I-485, from the time you start, it's about 12 to 24 months. What country are you from?
Huh?
What country? 12 to 24 months now, they're saying.
I'm here, from India.
From India? I would say you're closer, I would say somewhere between 12 to 18 months.
12 to 18 months?
Yes.
Or like I filed like in April.
Of 2018?
18, yeah, 18.
Yeah, so right now, unless things change, I wouldn't expect an interview till next summer.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so just hang in there.
Okay.
Okay, hold on if you need help.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go to, I always want to go to India. It's on my bucket list.
Me too.
My sister just went.
Noor in Charlottesville, Virginia.
Yes, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for helping. Yes, sir. I have a question. I came to the United States through special immigrant visa. I used to work as an interpreter for U.S. Army. So I'm still a green card holder. I applied for my wife.
You're from Iraq or Afghanistan?
Afghanistan.
Afghanistan. Okay. And so you got your green card?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you applied for your wife?
Yes, sir.
And what's going on with that?
So it has been like 15 months, and it has not been approved yet. So I heard like in 2016, one of my friends, he applied. He was a green card holder. So, and that time, it took like, I think like a year, the processing time in USCIS. And right now, I think it has been like not only mine, it is my another friend, and he's also, so it took like, it has been like 15 months. I'm still waiting for my my wife, but he has not been approved right there yet.
What are you waiting on the approval? You're waiting on the U.S. Embassy to say it's okay to schedule the visa appointment?
Well, actually, I file I-130.
Right.
So from here, from the United States.
Oh, you still haven't gotten approved yet?
Yes, sir.
All right. Yeah, unfortunately, with Donald Trump as president, it's taking a lot longer. I-130 sometimes take as long as 18 months. I would say this. If you don't have an answer to your I-130 within 18 months of filing, and you're at 15 months already, we should be filing something called a mandamus. And a mandamus is you can even do it now if you wanted to. You absolutely can. A mandamus is a lawsuit against the government for their failure to do their job. And their job is that you risked your life being an interpreter for the U.S. military during wartime. And the U.S. government said, you know what, you deserve a green card. You deserve to live here with your spouse. And now you're here and you're separated from your spouse for this long period of time. And it's going to take months and months after the visa petition is approved. What I would suggest you do, quite frankly, I was going to tell you wait 18 months, but now as I'm thinking about it, you should do it now. We should be filing something called a mandamus action. And what a mandamus action is a litigation against the government. It's very fast. As soon as you file it, it's resolved very quickly, where you get a federal judge to force the government to approve the case. Other than that, they can sit there forever with it.
Oh, great. Awesome. Thank you so much, sir.
So hold on, and we can help you. Hold on. Okay? Let's go to Ricardo in Brooklyn.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Good night.
How are you?
I'm not bad. I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
To ask. All right. My wife filed a 485 and the work permit, but they sent the letter saying that it is processing. But on July 18, because they sent another form.
Number one, You didn't file a completed case till you submitted the rest of the documents, so your case never moved anywhere all these months you were waiting. And number two, you're lucky you filed before September 11th, because after September 11th, you would have been denied.
With September 11th, okay. So even though, so if I didn't fix it, or because I did file it before, but because some little mishaps and so on.
Yeah, well, you're not allowed to have mishaps anymore. So that's the issue, but it should be about 5 months. All right, hold on if you need more help. All right, so with that, we got to do something called social media check-in. Let's go quickly. Something called there we go. Social media check-in. What do we got?
Our first question is from Alexia, and she says, with all the changes to persons applying for Medicaid, the rise in poverty level, and most importantly, what's being said in regard to green card holders trying to get assistance, does assistance include financial aid, or is it only for people getting WIC?
Financial aid? What kind of financial aid?
For college. So
no, financial aid, no. Financial aid for college is fine.
Tanisha McNabb has a question asking for a friend. She's married, and her husband left in less than a month without knowing where he is. What can she do?
As I say this all the time, we answer this question almost every day. If you are married to somebody and they leave you or they refuse to do your immigration case for you and you have nothing, every person has three options. Find your spouse and work things out and get back together. 2, get a divorce, move on with your life and find another way to get a green card. Or 3, file as an abused spouse, physical abuse or extreme emotional abuse if that's what happened. Those are your 3 options. That's what everybody's 3 options are.
Queen of My Castle said, is it true that if you file for a sibling, it's going to take 15 years? And how long does it take to adopt your godchild from Jamaica if she's 12 years old?
15 years is correct. You do not adopt a godchild in Jamaica. She will never come. You would have to do an orphan petition, presuming that she has no mother and father or the parents' rights have been terminated.
Okay, Monica says, my green card got lost, but I think it's time to apply for my citizenship. Can I just go ahead and apply for my citizenship?
Yes, you don't need your green card to become a citizen. You're still a lawful resident. File away.
Eris B said, if you sent an information for a request for additional information about how long is it going to take to get a response? They said that once they get the info, they'll pick my case up right where they left off. It was for an I-130 filing for a spouse.
You should be getting some response, hopefully within 120 days.
Okay, Elaine Hamilton says, Brad, I get my advance parole last week. So I got my advanced parole last week. My husband is going to Jamaica at the end of this month for a week. He wants me to come with him. Can I travel on it? He is a U.S. citizen.
Can your husband travel on an advanced parole?
Can she travel on her
Yes, she can. Parole. Are we still on Facebook, or do we get cut off?
I see yes.
Okay, then it's just me.
Yeah. Oh, maybe it's just you.
Okay.
We're out.
Olaran said, please, sir, I'd like to know how long does it take for an EAD to come out to Atlanta, Georgia? How long until he gets his work permit, Brad?
That who gets a work permit?
Olaran.
5 months from the time, if you do it right?
Mohammed says, hey, I'm a permanent resident for 2 years from Ethiopia, and I am married. Before 8 months, I filed an I-130 for my wife by myself, and I'm waiting still. Is there any way you can help me speed up the approval process?
The way I speed things up is I don't screw it up, and I do it perfectly, or try to do it as perfectly as I can, so that way everything goes smoothly. But there's nobody who can speed it up after you filed it, but certainly we can take over the case and make sure it goes smoothly moving forward.
Donette said, when a step-parent files for an adjustment of status application for an 18-year-old stepchild, does the step-parent also go in with the child during the interview?
Yes.
Okay, so Tony Ann has a question. She has a few questions. She came on a J1 visa from Jamaica. I'm on my grace period now up until the 4th of October. However, I don't want to go back to Jamaica as I'm getting another job and wanted to stay here in New York and adjust my status.
I think that was the first call of the day.
Oh, was it?
Was she the nanny?
Yes.
The not nanny nanny?
The not nanny. I believe.
Okay.
I think you might be.
Or it could have been where we had somebody down in Texas also ask that same question.
Yes.
Can he do a job sponsorship or get married here?
I think that's.
And the answer is, if you do a job sponsorship, you would have to go home and request a 2-year home residence requirement back home, a waiver of that. Or you can get married here and do your waiver here.
Exo Cavella said, "Hey Brad, if you're a citizen and getting financial aid, can you file for your parents?"
Financial aid as a student, yes.
Anna Nicole is asking for a friend. If someone's living here in the U.S. filing for a spouse overseas, do they file the I-130 and I-130A, or is it just the I-130?
Just the I-130.
Some Paul said, "My sister sponsored me in 2016 and my visa bulletin is up to May 1st of 2005. Still 11 years to go. If my sister sponsors my mom and my mom sponsors me, would that be faster? But she's 80 years old right now. How long would the I-130 take to be approved for her sister filing for mom?"
It would take about a year. It would be faster. And God forbid anything were to happen to mom. As long as the I-130 that mom filed for you is approved, another family member can take it over.
So his sister could take it over?
Yes.
Even though she's got already a pending one for him? Oh, perfect.
Nice. Terrell Wayne has a question. Hey, Brad, I'm still currently working with a cruise line for 9 years now, and I have a B1, B2 visa, and I have family living in the States, uncle, aunt, and cousins. Is there any way that they could help me to work and live in the States?
Having a tourist visa doesn't entitle you to work, and having an uncle doesn't entitle you to work either. So you need to have a consultation to figure out what does entitle you.
Hey, Brad, I just subscribed to your show on YouTube.
Hey!
It is a pleasure for me.
We like that. We like subscribing to the show.
Yes,
Everybody
Abraham.
should be subscribing to YouTube. At Brad Show Live. Subscribe, and that's the only way you can see the pop-up. Anyways.
Hit nudge, nudge.
Nudge, nudge.
It's a complete pleasure for me. Please, I was wondering, what does it mean for USCIS to reply that you have established a prima facie, and how does it benefit you? The prima facie case was regarding my wife's aggression towards me.
It was a VAWA case, and what a prima facie says is that they reviewed your documents on a cursory basis, and it appears that they are sufficient to prove a case for abuse, and in the meantime, you're entitled to public benefits.
Okay, Zakir has a question. I live in New York. I overstayed, and my parents is a card holder. They put in for me, so I think that they filed for him. How long does it take to get a work permit?
A work permit?
Yes.
You're asking for a work permit?
How long will it take to get a work permit?
Who's put in the papers?
So the parents put in the papers. He overstayed.
He's depends how old he is. If he's over 21, he's going to wait 7 years. He's not getting a work permit for a while.
Yikes.
How old is this person?
Doesn't know. We don't know.
All right. By the way, David Gabriel's liking your hair today.
Mine?
Yes. Not
Oh,
mine.
thanks.
Nobody likes my hair.
No, David
Thanks.
Gabriel usually likes
What?
me.
Did he say me?
He said yo-yo. Oh,
Yo-yo. Thanks, brother.
Yo-yo.
David.
Wagwan.
Yeah.
David.
All right. So this is what we're going to do. Yo-yo has a big meeting, so
do.
he's got to leave. But Belgium Kim.
Yeah.
Belgium Kim went to San Gennaro Fair.
I did.
So we're going to check out the San Gennaro Fair, and we're going to come back and finish up our social media, and then we're going to do our comments of the day while Yo-Yo goes to his meeting.
It's very important.
Bye, Yo-Yo, leaving a live show. You're like the football player who left at halftime and retired.
Right.
Did you see that?
Yeah. I did see that.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
We didn't
There's
even
a lot
talk about
I know,
that.
There's a lot of memes going around saying, like, the Nike meme saying,
Yeah.
just do it.
Right, did you say, for those who don't know, there was an NFL football player playing in the Buffalo Bills game yesterday, and at halftime, he literally went into the shower, took his jersey off, walked out of the stadium, and sent an email to the owner or the general manager, says, "I quit, I'm retiring." In the middle of a football game, he did it.
I'm not mad at him.
Right.
I'm not mad at it.
Now, I'm not saying you're retiring.
I'm not.
And but you are leaving in the middle of a football game. but it's okay. But it's
I'll
okay.
be here, though.
You didn't expect the football game to go into overtime.
Double overtime.
To go double overtime
Double.
today. So we give you a pass.
Thank you.
We give you a pass. We'll see you later in the week.
Yes.
And in the meantime, let's watch Belgium Kim at the San Gennaro Fair.
Hey Brad Squad, it's Belgium Kim, and today I am at the 92nd annual Feast of San Gennaro in Little Italy, New York City. The feast started on Thursday, September 13th and goes on for 11 days. The Feast of San Gennaro is in honor of the patron saint of Naples. However, it's now known for its festive atmosphere, its delicious food, and its amazing processions. Out-of-towners and locals alike flock to the colorful feast to celebrate restaurants and culture. Check it out. Hey Brad Squad, I'm here with Bob. Bob, you are on the committee of the Feast of San Gennaro?
Yes, I am. Been on for about 15 years. We meet regularly, plan the events, and then at the end of the feast, whatever monies we have left after expenses is distributed to charity.
What year of celebrating the San Gennaro Festival is this for you? Not even just as a member of a committee, but just celebrating the feast.
I've been in the neighborhood for over 50 years, so it's been around that time. And when I was a child, I grew up in East Harlem, we would come down for the feast.
Oh, wow.
They had one up there around a lady in Mount Carmel on 116th Street, but we would always come down and visit this feast when I was a child, so it's been a lifelong thing.
Right.
The purpose of the feast is to honor the patron saint of Naples, Italy. When most Europeans came here, they took all their laws and all their religion with them.
And this is where most of the Neapolitans settled, on Mulberry Street. On the other block, it was a different saint, and on the next block, it was a different saint.
Okay.
But it started out as a table, little table in one block, in one corner.
They did all their famous cooking, all their famous honoring him, having a mass. And again, it started back in the 1920s.
And it grew every year and every year. This is our 92nd year of having this feast here.
Brad Squad, we are here with Danny on the corners. Danny, you are the king of Zeppelis around here, is that right?
That's absolutely right. I've been on this block all my life. I actually grew up on the next block.
Oh, wow.
And I've been doing the feast right here in this location since I was a little kid. This is originally a family spot that I took over. My great-grandmother used to have like all the candy from Italy, which we actually still have right over there. She over here, she would have all the nuts hanging, the chestnuts hanging on the string. But you know, times change and we change with the times.
What is a zeppole and what's in it?
It's basically, we just refer to it as an Italian donut. It's basically a wet pizza dough, okay? Flour, water, yeast, your basic things. And like I said, one special ingredient, my two hands right here. This is love right here.
That's love.
This is a labor of love. This is no joke.
Right. If you gave me a whole list of the ingredients.
That's not gonna happen, I'm sorry.
That's not. Do you guys also have a brick and mortar, or is it just once a year at the feast special?
Only here at the Feast of San Gennaro. That's all I do. That's it.
Wow. What do you do the rest of the year?
I work for the post office. Please don't hold that against me.
I won't.
Everyone has to come down right here to the corner of Mulberry and Grand. Danny on the corner.
What is still the #1 seller? Is it still the Zeppelis?
Zeppelis, yes.
I gotta be honest, Danny. I've never had one of your Zeppelis.
You can have it right now.
Yeah, let's get one for me. Oh, just that's fun.
How's that?
We are here with Joe, the owner of La Bella Ferrara Bakery. Joe, what year is this for you celebrating the San Gennaro Festival?
Well, I've been here more than 45 years, so I've seen a lot of those feasts. Part of the culture of Little Italy and New York, in fact.
And how did you come about owning this bakery?
After school, I used to work in a bakery in Brooklyn. One of the owners was my friend, opened up this, came into this bakery, and then I followed him. And after a couple of years, I became a partner.
Since the 70s, right?
Yes, since the 70s, yes.
Joe, you were mentioning that you guys have a ton of amazing cannolis. Can you tell us a little bit about them?
Sure. I mean, there's always the old traditional one. We came up with different flavors. So we have a chocolate dip with a chocolate shell with white ricotta. We have the peanut butter, which is very popular now. And red velvet, actually.
You know I'm not going to come here and not taste the cannoli. I'm going to let you decide, though, what cannoli do I try today?
Well, I think you should try two of them. You should go with the original and you should get the peanut butter. So, taste of the old and the new, right?
Hey, you guys, they hooked me up with a cannoli and a peanut butter cannoli. Hey, y'all, this is the peanut butter one. I'm really excited about that. Oh my God. Oh yeah. Len, we are here in front of Johnny Fasulo's famous Italian sausage. Who is Johnny Fasulo if you're Glenn?
Johnny Fasulo is my grandfather. He's a legend. He's a legend down here. You ask anybody where they're going to get their sausage, and first name that pops into mind is we got to go to Fasulo's, Johnny Fasulo's. We actually have been in this location for 75 years. Woo-hoo. On the corner of Grand and Mulberry.
Wow. And how did that start 75 years ago?
Well, he started when his family migrated here from Sicily. They were able to come to the feast, and the rest is history. We've been here, like I said, for the 75 years.
Do you still live in the neighborhood?
No, we moved out of the neighborhood about 10 years ago. Okay. But, we come back here all the time. We've met many people over the years that come back to see us, year after year. It's great.
So are you guys a brick and mortar store as well?
No, we're not. We just do some festivals all over the summer, and this is our best festival, from a standpoint of seeing old friends and acquaintances.
What do you do the rest of the year?
We're in the catering business. So we're busy all year round.
So we can have Johnny Fasulo's famous Italian sausage if we get it catered all year round.
Absolutely.
Amazing.
Like I said, it's all homemade.
Yeah.
And it's made with love. Like spicy, we have nice hot sausage.
Okay.
Which has a little spice.
I can do a little kick. I can handle
a little kick.
Okay.
We put on fresh made peppers and onions.
Okay.
If you like hot peppers.
It's so juicy. It's got a little bit of kick. That is made with love and homemade hands right there. Oh yeah.
My name is Karen King Chacha, and I'm the owner of Aleva Dairy, which is the oldest cheese store in America. We're the first one here since 1892.
So tell us that history, 1892.
Okay, well, my husband was Chacha. He was the unofficial mayor of Little Italy. We have a restaurant up the block. So we bought his family, were cousins with the Aleva family, and they didn't want to run it anymore after 126 years, so we decided to take it over. It was a landmark. We didn't want it to go out, so we're going to run it for another 100 years.
Is there a lot of pressure taking over such a Little Italy institution like that?
Well, you know what? No, it's okay as long as you got good people working for you. Partner Pasquale and I, he's part owner with me. I brought him into Chacha's. We want to bring that back, that feel of what Little Italy is about.
What number Feast of San Gennaro is this for you, Karen?
This for me is 23 years. Right. And my husband always stressed that about keeping it Little Italy like what it is. Yeah. And when he left, it's still here, but I'm trying to take over that. Ferrara's across the street, the famous pastry. He decided when my husband died in 2.5 years ago, he wanted to do something, and he was the only one that came up with an idea to do a meatball eating contest. The first year we had 1,000 people. Last year we had 2,000 people. We have celebrities like Vinnie Pastore and Tony Danza were last year and the first year. And now we have Federico. I get all the Sopranos. They were all my husband's friends because he was on the Sopranos. Joey Reynolds is hosting. And I have Federico Castellucci and Artie Pasquale coming to host my meatball eating contest. And I am singing in the national anthem.
What do you recommend? What do I go for?
Well, we make our own mozzarella. We've been doing it for 126 years. So you got to come in and taste it. We make it every day here.
Okay, I absolutely want to try that mozzarella.
Good.
Mozzarella.
Try it right now.
I am so excited right now. It's so creamy. Oh my God. Brad Squad, it was a delicious day at the San Gennaro Festival. Needless to say, I am stuffed. I need a nap. I am hot. and it was a amazing day at the San Gennaro Festival. Until next time, Brad Squad.
So what I've realized, I was talking to Kim while we're watching this. I said, I just realized that if you walk around with a camera and a microphone, you get all this food for free.
Yeah.
Nobody questioned you. Nobody took any money. I said next week you could just take Patrice. Don't even put batteries in the camera. Just walk around the camera and mic and just go eat for free.
I think I may just have my best friend start pointing an iPhone at me when I go up to places.
I'm filming for the Kim show.
Yeah. You don't know it, but I swear it's gonna be huge.
I'm filming for the Kim show, and you just walk around and get free stuff.
I just discovered the
secret. Yes.
Yeah, that's a pro tip right there.
All right. Well, that looked like a lot of fun, but we got to finish up here. We're way late. We're like beyond Brad Show After Hours late.
Yeah.
We have about 15 social media questions. Let's run through them quickly.
Okay. We have Mohammed, who said, I'm a permanent resident for 2 years from Ethiopia, and I'm married before 8 months. I filed my I-130 for my wife by myself, and I'm still waiting. Is there any way you can help me to speed up the approval process?
Where's the wife?
It doesn't say.
In another country? He should give us a call, and we'll just make sure he's doing everything properly.
Yeah, it sounds like she's still in Ethiopia.
Yeah, right.
All right. We have 3 more questions.
Oh, 3? That's it?
That's it.
You told me 15.
I thought it was, but I didn't realize how fast Yo-Yo and I had gone through all the others.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
You're not chipping anybody out.
I am not chipping anybody out.
Sure?
I swear it. If you got last second questions.
Because I have some extra Zeppelis back here. I'm going to start throwing them at you if you're jipping anybody out.
Excuse
You're going
me.
to start getting some Zeppelis thrown at you.
That's a terrible incentive to not jip, because I would love for somebody to throw some Zeppelis at me. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, talk about excitement, right?
That's totally fine. If you
Yes.
want to just throw Zeppelis at me all day long.
3 more questions.
3 more questions. Our question from Darrell said, is it possible to file for my husband's disabled son who is overseas? He's 23 years old.
If you married the husband before he was 18, yes.
Trez said, can an I-130 and an I-485 be filed while a J-1 waiver is pending?
No.
Or do I need to wait?
Gotta wait.
Excella said, I was somewhat worried because I can't afford another filing and it's killing me. But she said that she was so glad that you told her that she is not going to have to file again for her last question.
Oh, very good.
Thank you.
Very good.
And then finally, we've got Jordan,
Yes.
who said, can a permanent resident who submitted for citizenship file for a non-green card holder while it's still being processed?
Yes.
Yes. Perfect.
All right, comments of the day.
Comments of the day. We have one from Chelsea Hazard on YouTube, who said, good evening, Brad, Kim, and Yo-Yo, and the entire staff. Blessings. I just want you to know that I appreciate the show a lot in every way.
Oh, very nice. We're getting more of those every day.
We are.
And we throw them all in comments of the day because we love to get compliments.
You know what's really crazy, Brad?
What?
Is that we throw maybe 1/10 of these kinds of comments.
I don't even see them all
day.
But I don't see them. You don't show them to me.
Lisa, because you're answering questions. You're busy. It's like, oh, hey, Brad, can you stop answering this person's question to take a look at this good comment? That would be a terrible thing to do.
Okay. Stop the show. Someone made a comment.
Stop it. Someone commented. Second, we have Reginald Amata, who has been keeping us updated, and the day has arrived. Hi, everyone. I got my letter for my oath ceremony. Wow, my stress is over, and on September 20th, it's also going to be my birthday. Big celebration. God is wonderful. We just have to keep holding on and don't let go.
That's me clapping. Oh, wait. I was much better with just a hand.
That's true. From now on, you can just show Brad's hands. And then finally, we've got one from Tanisha McNabb. And Tanisha McNabb said, when and if I miss my favorite show, Brad Show Live, I'm like a fish out of water, Brad. It's true. I'm really, really down. I can't miss the show. I know so much about immigration now. Thanks, Brad.
Very nice. Thank you. I have a comment of the day.
Ooh, ready.
Yes, from Molly Alobin Martin.
Yeah.
Who writes, Brad, you did a great job when you hired Kim.
That is a
I just saw
great
it.
comment.
I just saw it.
Oh, I love that
I just
comment.
saw it.
Thanks.
And I have another comment of the day.
What's that?
From Abigail Taylor Watson.
What'd she say?
She just had some barbecue and mac and cheese.
Ooh, send that my way.
All right, and with that, we'll see you all tomorrow. Well, no, we're going to see you pop up tomorrow. Wait.
Pop.
Tomorrow, we're not going to see you tomorrow.
we'll see them for mere seconds.
For mere seconds in a pop-up, but you gotta follow and subscribe to YouTube at Bradshaw Live to see our pop-up, because you don't know when it's gonna come on, and neither do we. But we'll see you at some point tomorrow popping up on YouTube. See you tomorrow on YouTube. So Sam, as part of the production, we have to say this disclaimer at the end of the show. Do you mind reading it for me?
Okay, but you know, Brad, I have to do everything around here. It's bad enough I've got to remember everything that happened on the episode from the previous day.
Forget it, I'll do it. The proceeding was information only and not specific legal advice. Consult an attorney about your individual situation. Prior successful results do not guarantee a similar outcome in the future. To make an appointment with the Spar and Bernstein law firm located at 225 Broadway in New York City, call 1-800-529-5465. That's 1-800-529-5465. Easy to remember, 1-800-LAW-LINK. That's 1-800-LAWLINK. Once again, make a call to 1-800-529-5465. And of course, link up with the law offices of Spar and Bernstein, located at 225 Broadway on the 5th floor. If I were you out there, make the call, make the link, make the connection, make it Spar and Bernstein. 1-800-LAWLINK. That's 1-800-529-5465. And now, conveniently located in Hartford, Connecticut on 1 Congress Street. Visit us in Connecticut or in New York at 225 Broadway. That's 1-800-529-5465. 1-800-LAW-LINK. 1-800-529-5465. What are you doing?